Okay. Good morning, guys. Good morning. As we get in, if you don't mind, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. It's only one coin. It will boost the live and push us out to the FYP. We are going to go ahead and get started here in just a moment. So please. Why does this set this way? What's happening here? All right. There we go. Good morning, guys. We're gonna go ahead and get started here in just a moment. Good morning, Fluffy. Good morning, Jason. Good morning, Georgia. Good morning, Happy Bell. Good morning, Manders. Good morning, B the Frog. Good morning, Soul Sister. Good morning, JLo 7695. Hope you all are having a wonderful morning. It's going to be an interesting day. There's a lot happening, like literally right before I hopped on. Good morning, Ryan. Hey, Swan. Right before I hopped on, like it was just breaking news after breaking news. After breaking news. Yeah, Kay, Kay, if you're listening, I don't know what's going on. Like it is odd how it doesn't show up, but whatever. We'll figure it out. Regardless, good morning. I hope everyone is having a wonderful morning. We're going to go ahead and get started here. If you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background, get in the box. We're only looking for some debates. It's definitely time to end the war. Like things are escalating even more. Like literally right before I got on, things started to escalate even more. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Iran has officially rejected Donald Trump's quote unquote 15-point peace plan, his ceasefire. So, yeah. Anywho, keep tapping the screen, share the live. We got the roses as the daily gift goal. Can we knock those out, please? Can we knock the roses out, please? Guys, send your daily heart me. It's only one coin. It'll boost the live and push us out to the FYP. And you guys know how we do, so let's go ahead and get this one started.
You stepped in a box, now you're in the ring. Ain't no hugs here, you better take your best swing. Mike Hot, who wanna step in the flame? This ain't a debate, this a mind game. Facts type lies, get left in chain. One wrong word, get slapped out your name. This ain't TikTok T, this a war zone talk. No script, no filter, no safe walk. Bring stats to get scrambled like a glitch. I got fire in my mouth like I came from the pit.
Hey,
step in if you dare. Truth hit hard like a punch in the air. Ain't no rules, no plan, no script. One wrong move, get cooked real quick. No cap, no shield. Better know your stuff or you get revealed. Step in, don't you wanna? Sparring with Santana. I don't care what you claim or your background. Facts only, if not, get clapped down. Whether you're left or right or you don't even vote. If your logic is weak, I'll sink your boat.
Hey.
You talk slick, but you ain't got source.
Nope.
Just vibes, that ain't power, that's force. I'm the test, the trap, the trip, the call.
Hey.
You slip once, I'm snatching it all.
Boom.
Step in if you dare. If you dare. Hit hard like a punch in the air. In the air. Ain't no rules, no plan, no script. Yeah. One wrong move, get cooked real quick. No cap, no shield. No. Better know your stuff or you get revealed. Step in, don't you wanna? Sparring with Santana. Step in if you dare. Hit hard like a punch in the air. Ain't no rules, no plan, no script. One wrong move, get cooked real quick. No cap, no shield. Better know your stuff or you get revealed. Step in, don't you wanna? Sparring with Santana. Yeah. This ain't a safe place.
It is not.
This is flame space. Step in, don't you wanna? Sparring with Santana.
Guys, welcome in. This is Sparring with Santana. One-on-one debates with Trump supporters or anyone that disagrees with anything on the background. I am Santana, and guys, only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. If you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live. Keep knocking out the daily gift goals. Please, 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 guys. I'm going to keep resetting the daily gift goal to these little 1-cent gift goals that will help boost the live and push us out to the FYP. Also, guys, share the live maybe once or twice. That's super helpful. Sharing the live maybe once or twice is super helpful. But make sure you're reposting the live. Reposting the live helps way more. So yes, share the live. That's awesome. But make sure that you actually repost the live. That does so much more when you guys actually repost it. Again, I know for a fact that it's time to end the war. It's time to end the war. And the way that we go about ending the war is through a couple of different things. We have to remove the U.S. global presence. The United States of America is a scourge on the globe, and we have to do what we need to do to ensure that we are removing this harmful element. Got to get them up out the paint. Number two, got to cut ties with Israel. Israel is the reason that we are currently in this conflict. Got to go. Got to go. Number three, we have to ban all politicians that are AIPAC backed. If they are a politician and they take money from AIPAC, we need them gone. Number four, we got to remove white men from power. I think that's something that we can all just agree on. Like, that's an easy dub, right? Right? That's an easy dub. Removing white men from power, that's an easy agreement and an easy dub. Nope, you said no. Come up here and tell me about it. Nope, if you don't want to remove white men from power, then come up here and tell me about it. I'm a little bit confused about that one. Last but not least, we got to cut the military budget. Definitely have to cut the military budget. So if you are a Trump supporter, or no, you're doing housework, or nope, I'm going to give you a break. But if I see you commenting anything else and you disagree, you're going to get muted. So shh. Because if you can't stop to come up and defend your point, then no one wants to hear what you have to say in the comments. Just an FYI, bub. You can, it's okay. Perfect. I got you muted. Actually, let me make sure. Hold on. I muted you for 5 minutes. I meant to mute you for the entire live. Hey, nope. Whenever you finish doing that housework, come up here and defend your point, because you don't have a defense for your point. We know. Anywho, only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We are only looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. Let's knock out the pink heart puffs. That's the 1-cent gift goal at the moment. Please. If you are over on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, anywhere else, guys, you can get up here and debate me. And the way that you do so is just clicking that link. You don't even have to come to TikTok. The link that is in the chat, it's on my pinned message, and I just dropped it in the chat. All you have to do is click that link and you can get up here. Period. Now, as we wait for any Trump supporter, anyone that disagrees with anything on the background, to somehow get the testicular fortitude to get in the box, to come up here and talk to me, there's a couple of things that I want to talk about. Guys, this literally just happened. Like, right when I was getting ready to hit go live, I saw this pop up on my screen, and yeah. Breaking news. Iran has officially rejected the United States, Donald Trump, 15-point plan for a proposed ceasefire. Now, the fact that Donald Trump is offering a ceasefire is news within itself. And don't worry, I'll tell you why it's news pretty soon. But the fact is, Donald Trump has issued a 15-point plan, and Iran said, no, thank you. No, thank you. They went on their state media and said that they have no interest in that. Now, for anyone who's been keeping up, Donald Trump, the Trump administration has been adamant about not wanting a ceasefire, but wanting a total and complete surrender. That's been his entire thing, right? The Trump administration has been talking about how strong they are, that they don't want any type of half-ass efforts. They want a complete surrender. The thing about that is, when you actually put yourself in a position where you are someone that doesn't have the ability to dictate to the people that you're in conflict with, then that becomes a moot point. But again, we know Donald Trump is someone who flip-flops often, and he says a lot of shit, but he doesn't actually know a lot of anything. That's how it works. So I'm going to play a couple of videos, and I want you guys to hear what Donald Trump has been saying, because again, the issue that we currently have is that Donald Trump has been inconsistent at best when it comes to the things that he says we're going to do and then the things that we actually do. Donald Trump said that, oh, we're going to war, we're not going to war. Donald Trump says, I want to surrender, I don't want a peace agreement. It's been all inconsistent across the board, and we got to talk about it. Give me 1 second here. Actually, you know what? Give me a second. Let me make sure I have the right one. Before we get to that, a couple other quick things that I want to also make sure that I talk about. There was a war powers vote that occurred yesterday. And we know that there's been a couple of different war power votes that has occurred where the Republican Party has deliberately stood in the way of curtailing any type of presidential power, ensuring that Donald Trump is not able to just, go full authoritarian. And there was another vote that was taken yesterday, and the vote was defeated. Now, does anybody know who the Democrat was that crossed the line? Because it was defeated 53 to 47. 53 to 47. They said, no, Donald Trump, we don't have to reel you in when it comes to Iran. I see you guys, listen, you guys are on it. You guys are on it. Yeah. So the measure was pushed by Chris Murphy. And also Rand Paul was the lone Republican to actually agree with the Democrats and say, no, thank you. But John Fetterman was the lone Republican senator that actually the lone Republican Democratic senator that stood with the Republicans and said Donald Trump can continue to push the limits when it comes to war. Hey, Jason, I appreciate you sharing the live. Jason, thank you. Thank you for sharing the live, Jason. I appreciate you, but we don't want to spam share. Once or twice is good. You don't want to spam share. That hurts the live, Jason. So thank you for sharing, but you can go ahead and stop. You can go ahead and stop. Perfect. Thank you. America has now declared war going into, yeah. Who again? Fetterman? Yes, it was John Fetterman. It was John Fetterman. He was the lone Republican Democratic senator to vote alongside of the Republican Party, giving them that actual 53 to 47 count to not curtail the powers of Donald Trump. I just want to take a moment to say, do you guys remember John Fetterman? Like, do you guys remember when people actually were excited and wanted him in office? He was someone that people across the US was like, this is our guy. Because he was supposed to be an everyman. He was someone who showed up in his hoodie. He didn't wear suits. He went through a medical miracle as far as his health prior to being elected. He was someone that so many people across the country, not just the people in PA, but across the country said, hey, we support this guy. And as soon as he got into power, as soon as he was elected into office, he has done a complete about face. So much so that he now spends all of his time on Fox News. He now has a positive favorability rate amongst Republicans, and now he has a negative favorability rate amongst Democrats. One other super interesting nugget, one other super interesting tidbit. John Fetterman, the person who wears hoodies and is the everyman, right? He put on a suit. He wore a suit. He wore a suit for a special occasion. Do you guys know why John Fetterman put on a suit and was on Capitol Hill? Nope, not Charlie Kirk. It's not when Charlie Kirk passed. Anyone else know when he actually wore a suit? Nope, wasn't even for Trump. John Fetterman threw on a suit and was front and center when Donald Trump invited Bibi Netanyahu to Capitol Hill. That's the only time that I've seen John Fetterman wearing a suit, is when Bibi Netanyahu was invited to Capitol Hill. Yeah. Just want to make sure you guys knew that. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background? Witchery, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background? I don't think they meant to come up. All right. Like I said, that's when he wore a suit. Now, a couple of different things that I want to make sure that we get into, and this is with Donald Trump, right? Because Donald Trump has been at the very best wishy-washy, right? Now, Donald Trump said that the war in Iran, guys, he said that we've actually won the war in Iran. Did you know that? Take a listen. Let me make sure this is the right one, because I didn't label it, but give me a second.
Deal, Republicans and Democrats in the Senate, to fund all.
No, not that one. It's the funding.
President Trump, on a human level, how hopeful are you that this peace deal will work out? Like as a human,
On what?
on a human level, not as the president of the United States. How hopeful are you that this peace deal will work out with Iran?
You're talking about to end it? Well, I think we're going to end it. I can't tell you for sure. I don't like to say this. We've won this. This war has been won. The only one that likes to keep it going is the fake news. I mean, the New York Times, you read the New York Times, it's like we're not winning a war where they have no Navy and they have no Air Force and they have no nothing. And we literally have planes flying over Tehran and other parts of their country They can't do a thing about it. For instance, if I want to take down that power plant, that very big, powerful power plant, they can't do a thing about it. It's like, take me. That's all they can do. And yet, if you read the New York Times or if you watch ABC fake news or NBC fake news, you'd say it's a close battle. It's not a close battle. They're totally defeated. You know, we killed their Navy in, would you say 3 days, Pete? Gone. In fact, I was a little upset with Pete. I said, why didn't you save the ships? We could have used them, right? He said, it's more fun shooting them down. But the Navy was wiped out in a very rapid order. Pretty impressive for you guys, you champion wrestlers, right? When you hear this stuff. But you don't, if you read the news, you don't hear this. You know, you read like, oh, they're doing wonderfully. They're doing terribly. They're wiped out militarily. They are dead. Yeah.
Yeah. So Donald Trump is saying that militarily they're done. I don't know if this person, Mr. Hazel Eyes, Hazeled. I don't know if you're gonna load, but if you meant to request up, I'm gonna go ahead and just disconnect it. You can request back up. We'll get you in here. You didn't load, guys. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. Thank you for saying that. I didn't realize that. Mr. Hazel Eyes, if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background, you can go ahead and request back up. You didn't load properly, so I went on and dropped you. But you can request back up, guys. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. So Donald Trump is taking a position that it's already over, right? Like that's literally the position that he's taking. He's saying that at any moment, at any time, anything that we want to do, we can do those things, and Iran has no ability to respond. Now, the interesting thing about that is if that were true, then we wouldn't be doing the things that we're currently doing. If anybody was watching late nights last night, I ended up speaking about this. I was going to hold this into this morning. So some people might have heard me talk about it last night, but I'm going to go ahead and read this out. This was as of yesterday evening. Around 2,000 U.S. paratroopers will be sent to the Middle East. The Pentagon has ordered about 2,000 from the soldiers from the Army's 82nd Airborne Division to begin moving into the Middle East to give the president additional military options, even as he weighs new diplomatic initiatives with Iran, two Defense Department officials says. Right? So they're sending paratroopers, about 2,000 paratroopers, to go along with the 4,500 Marines that they've already sent to the area, to add to the 50,000 troops that are currently in the area. So I'm a little bit confused as far as if the war is over and we've won, then how or why in the hell are we sending paratroopers and Marines? If it's over and we won, why are they sending paratroopers and Marines? The only reason they would be sending paratroopers and Marines is because they're planning on actually trying to enter Iran. Now, I told you guys that on state media, on Iran state media, there was an interview and they were speaking to the leader or one of the actual officials for Iran, and they said, hey, the U.S. is actually getting ready to send Marines. And the leader looked straight down the camera and said, okay, we're waiting. They're ready for the conflict. Now, there's one other interesting tidbit that occurred last night as well, but I'm going to tell you in a second. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
I'm not a Trump supporter, but I do kind of disagree and kind of want to get your view on what the cutting the military budget.
Okay, all right, we can talk about it. Give me a quick second. I have to do a proper introduction though. Do you know who I am?
Yes, I'm a big Dean Withers watcher, and I started watching your streams too.
Okay. Well, I figured that because I saw the follow back, but let's do this. I want to give everybody a proper introduction to who I am and what this is. So let's get it started.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Y'all ready for this?
Guys, welcome in. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters or anyone that disagrees with anything on the background. I am Santana, and guys, I'm looking for some debates. So only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live. Guys, let's keep knocking out the daily gift goal. Right now, it's the pink heart puffs. If we can continue, I'm going to keep resetting it, but if we can keep knocking those daily gift goals out, it's going to push us out to the FYP. I need everyone being active participants. You guys know how scared these people are to debate me. So the only way we're going to get them in to debate me is if we do the things to push out more. So guys, lock in, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. It's only one coin. Do all the things. All right. So you said that you disagree with the premise as far as cutting the military. So before I go too far, I would just love to hear why would you be worried about like cutting the military budget?
It's not exactly that I was like exactly worried about it, but I feel like considering that we are the biggest military superpower, I definitely think that we do spend a little too much, but I guess I was trying to figure out your reasonings for why you thought the military budget should get cut. Yeah.
I think that there's no need for us to be an imperial nation. Like the size of our military is directly correlated with the fact that for some reason we think that we're colonizers, conquerors, someone that needs to have far extending reach and tentacles throughout other nations, so much so that we're directly influencing not only the stability of other nations, but the political natures of other nations. And so I don't see any benefit as far as having the military budget as high as it is, especially when you talk about the lack of benefits, access, and things that we provide for American citizens.
Oh, okay. I definitely agree with what you're saying. I think now that I understand like where you're coming from, I agree with your point. But do you think that maybe instead of cutting the military budget, we can redirect it to those servicemen and women that are fighting for our country?
Yeah, I mean, not only do I think we need to cut it, but we need to actually redefine how money is being spent. And I think that's one thing that we definitely need to do. We need to not only boost the funds that are paid to our men and women in uniform, but we need to also improve the benefits that we offer our veterans, right? The cuts that we've had to the VA and the lack of support that we give our heroes who have fought for our country is atrocious. And like, we need to improve that in every single facet as far as being able to support those people.
I agree. I feel like one of the last things we need to cut is veteran benefits. But I love you, Santana. I love all of what you do. I just wanted to see what you had to say about that.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for coming up. I appreciate you. Guys, only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heartbeat. It's only one coin. Debbie's in the chat for Sean. Sean sent a $2 donation saying right after Trump hit Iran, Barron came out with, and then your message cut out. I don't know what you mean. It said Barron came out with, and then I don't see anything else. But thank you for the $2 dono. Debbie's in the chat for Misty. Misty sent a $5 donation, said happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you as well, Misty. Debbie's in the chat for those donos. Guys, if anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Also, let me check Twitch because I forgot to give Twitch the props that they deserved yesterday. One Mighty Pen, if you're watching, One Mighty Pen yesterday sent 100 bits on Twitch, and I didn't get to call that out. So W's in the chat for One Mighty Pen as well. Like I said, if you are over on YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, and you want to actually come up and debate me, all you have to do is click that link. You do not have to actually leave where you are. All you have to do is click the link, and it will allow you to come up for a debate. I am dropping the link in the chat again. Now, the thing that I was saying as far as where we are and the fact that they're putting more troops and getting ready to actually enter Iran. The interesting thing that happened yesterday in connection with that is that Iraq has officially taken the stands, and Iraq is officially taking the side of Iran to help support what's happening. This happened last night as I was getting ready to late nights. Breaking: the Iraqi Armed Forces and the Iraqi Council of National Security has given the Popular Mobilization Force full authority to respond and retaliate against any U.S. and Israeli attacks, effectively giving them the green light to enter the war formally. So not only is Iran officially engaged in conflict with the U.S. and Israel, but now Iraq is officially on board. So again, for the people that are saying, hey, Donald Trump is going to stop this, for Donald Trump himself, who is saying this is over, it's building. It's escalating. There's more. Now, the issue with this is, again, Donald Trump is screaming and claiming that he doesn't want to deal. And he's even lying about what's actually happening. Hi, Barbara. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
No, I was trying to type. I'm so sorry.
Okay. Or I'll drop you down. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. The interesting thing about what Donald Trump is now saying is he's lying even more about what's happening. Yesterday, I talked to you guys about the historical event that occurred with Iran shooting down one of the F-35s, the supersonic jet that's supposed to be super stealth and elite, and Iran actually shot that down. And Donald Trump is flat out saying that didn't happen. Give me a second.
Deal, Republicans and Democrats in the Senate to fund.
It's not that one.
Deal, Republicans and Democrats.
Oh.
Step They shot down 3 planes with our missiles. They happen to be our planes, but the pilots made it. Can you imagine the pilots making it? The pilots saw what was coming. And they said, those are patriots. We're not going to escape patriots. And they got out of there pretty quick, Pete, right? Pretty amazing that they got out. The 3 pilots lived. They're fine. In fact, they're flying today.
Accidentally fired the missile?
Yeah, the Kuwaitis made a mistake. They fired. They thought they were firing at the enemy. It was, as the expression goes, friendly fire. But the pilots are great. They're flying today. Pretty amazing, right? When you think of it. Yeah.
So Donald Trump is saying Iran didn't actually shoot down our jet. They're saying that our jets were shot down due to friendly fire. They're saying that that wasn't enemy fire, that was friendly fire that accidentally shot down an F-35. Now, again, an F-35 is touted to be the peak of military equipment, the actual pinnacle of American might. It is supposedly the most advanced piece of fighting equipment that the United States of America has. And it was accidentally shot down by friendly fire. I don't know about you guys, but that doesn't make sense to me. That one doesn't make sense to me. Again, I understand friendly fire, especially, you know, in a time of war, in a time of conflict. I completely understand how that could happen. But you're telling me that the most advanced equipment the United States of America has to offer was accidentally shot down? Something in the milk ain't clean. Something in the milk ain't clean. But that's what's happening. Donald Trump is lying to us, not only about what's occurring with the actual military equipment, but also what's happening with the soldiers. Right? We understand that they're undercounting the amount of casualties as well, which is disgusting. They're actually lying about the people who are putting their lives on the line and are either being injured or killed. And they're lying about how many people has been impacted. I don't understand how anyone can support that. I don't understand how anyone can stand behind that. I don't understand how we are not vehemently rejecting what's happening. There's no way that you can call yourself an American, a patriot, or any of that if you're not standing in complete opposition to what this Trump administration is doing when it comes to the war in Iraq. Now, we've talked about what's happening on the global front, but we've got to talk about what's happening here, because there's a couple of different things that are happening here. One thing that I've said over and over and over is that MAGA, Trump supporters, I need you to see the canary in the coal mine. I need you to see the canary in the coal mine. And the canary in the coal mine is the fact that there have been special elections, general elections, vote after vote after vote, election after election after election, since Donald Trump won power, and the Republican Party have gotten their doors blown off. They have gotten their doors blown off in every single election since Donald Trump took power. And it keeps getting worse. It keeps getting worse. This one was not only something that got worse, but this one is something that literally came to Donald Trump's doorstep. Yesterday, there was an election. Boom, there we go. Yesterday, there was an election. Emily Gregory defeated John Maples in Florida House District 87 special election, flipping it from Republican to Democrat. Now, a lot of people may say, oh, Santana, you're saying this is a big deal because it was a special election win. Nope. Oh, Santana, you're saying this is a big win because it was a special election win in Florida. Nope. I'm saying that this is a big deal because District 87 is the district where Mar-a-Lago is. This is literally Donald Trump's district. His home district just got flipped blue. The place where Donald Trump spends all of our American tax dollars, just got flipped blue. When I tell you that the canary in the coal mine has been squawking dead since Donald Trump won the election, I need you guys to hear me. It's just going to keep happening. The midterms are going to be a bloodbath. That's why so many Republican members of Congress have either just decided to retire or they're not seeking re-election. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but there's between 30 to 40 members of Congress who started in 2024 in power, but they have made a decision not to seek re-election. They're not seeking re-election. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something in the background? Miss Lightbright, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background? Okay. Yeah. I'll take that as a no. They understand what's happening. And since they understand what's happening, they're pulling the ripcord. They're pulling the ripcord. Because not only is Donald Trump and this administration incompetent and they have us currently in a war, but also our country is in shit. Has anyone seen what's going on in the airports with TSA? Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
Bless up America, you know. Good people.
Has anybody seen what's going on? Bad news, you said 21 Democrats not seeking elections. It's not seeking re-elections. Come up here and tell me about it. Are you saying that the Democrats have more to worry about than the Republicans? I'm a little confused. I'm a little confused. Bad views. Come up here and tell me about it. Anyway, so lines have been out of the door when it comes to TSA. Lines have been out of the door when it comes to TSA, and there's been multiple conflicts when it comes to getting funding passed. Now, I want to be very, very clear about something. Couple of things. First and foremost, the Republican Party is putting legislation that will actually split the DHS funding to actually pay TSA without funding ICE. That's what they're trying to do. They're putting that on the floor, and they're trying to pass legislation that would pay TSA without funding ICE. Now, couple of things about that. Donald Trump, when being told that that was a possibility, he openly, adamantly, and vehemently said that he doesn't fuck with that.
Can you give us any more sense of who exactly?
Oh, wrong one. Sorry.
Deal Republicans and Democrats in the Senate to fund all but enforcement operations of ICE to get those TSA agents repaid and to open up the rest of the department. Would you sign that?
Well, I don't want to comment until I see the deal, but as you know, they're negotiating a deal. I guess they're getting fairly close, but I think any deal they make, I'm pretty much not happy with it.
So Donald Trump is on record already saying that if there's any deal, he's not going to be happy with it. He's already poisoning the well and saying if there's any deal that's made, he's not going to be happy with it. Now, I want you guys to know that as far as deals, the reason why it's closed is because the Republican Party has stood in the way of funding TSA. Democrats have submitted a bill to fund TSA on March 5th, March 11th, March 12th, March 18th, March 19th, twice, March 21st, March 23rd. And every single time, the Democratic Party has put up a standalone bill to fund TSA. The Republican Party has voted against it. Every single time, the Democratic Party has put up a standalone bill to fund TSA, the Republican Party said no. Now, if you don't believe me, because listen, I know, we all know that like MAGA Trump supporters, they're here, they're listening. They like to listen over on YouTube because they feel like YouTube is a safe space for them. Like they love to hide out on YouTube, but they listen here on TikTok as well. They think that they have a safe space somewhere. Listen. You don't have to believe me. Stop giving out money to quote unquote illegals. Oh, Leo, come up here and tell me about it. Leo, I'm going to mute you because I don't care what you're saying in the comments. I'm sending you a request. Come up here and tell me who's giving money to quote unquote illegals. Get up here, Leo. I would love to hear about the money that's being given to quote unquote illegals. Or did you just think that my chat was your safe space? Leo got spotted. There was a nerve that was just touched and Leo couldn't hold it in anymore. And Leo had to admit that he was one of those Trump supporters that's sitting here watching, but not getting up here. Leo was so triggered that Leo's like, illegals. But Leo's too scared to come up here. Leo, accept that request. Don't be a coward. Guys, I have alienated and humiliated Trump supporters. They are terrified of me. MAGA, Trump supporters, Republicans, conservatives, FBA, every single one of them are terrified of me. They will go and debate anyone else. They will debate creators that have millions of followers to creators that have 20 followers, but they won't come spar with Santana because they may be a lot of things. And stupid is one, but they're not that damn stupid. Anyway, like I said, MAGA, Trump supporters, you don't have to believe me. I know that your fragile minds would never believe me. You guys don't think that I would ever tell the truth. That's fine. That's fine. You don't have to believe me. But if you don't believe me, listen to Republican Senator John Kennedy. John Kennedy, a lifelong Republican, someone who has absolutely voted alongside of Donald Trump. This is what he said.
Senator Cruz and I came up with a plan. We said, look, it's a two-step process. The Democrats have offered to open up everything but ICE. Ted and I said, okay, let's accept their offer. And then at the same time, we would offer a bill for reconciliation where we don't need any Democratic votes to do whatever we wanted to do with ICE. And that way we're out of the shutdown and DHS is back open. We submitted that. Senator Cthulhu submitted that to President Trump, as is his right. He said no deals with the Democrats. It would have worked. We could have had TSA paid by the end of the week, but the president said no deal.
So that was Republican Senator John Kennedy from Louisiana, openly admitting that Donald Jimothy Trump stood in the way of funding TSA. The legislation came from John Kennedy and Ted Cruz. And not only were they going to pass this legislation to fund TSA and every other aspect of DHS, but they had a plan to fund ICE with a simple majority after that. And Donald Trump said no deals with the Democrats. Now, I have one question for you. I have one very, very simple question for you. If there's a deal on the table that would allow you to fund ICE, to fund TSA, to get the people paid, to get them back going, to get the country working correctly again with flights, because there are wait times 3, 4, 5, 6 hours waiting to get through TSA. if there was a deal on the table that was initiated by Republicans, Ted Cruz, John Kennedy, and then supported by the leader, John Thune, in the Senate. And with that deal, there was a backdoor option that was still going to fund ICE, right? Guys, let's not forget what this is about. This entire fight has been because ICE is supposed to be getting more funding, even after they were funded with the BBB to the 14th highest level. If you stack the funding for ICE up against the other military budgets in the world, it's the 14th largest budget. But they want more money for ICE. So John Kennedy, Republican from Louisiana, Ted Cruz, Republican from Texas, got a bill that was going to fund every other part of DHS except ICE. And then they had a backdoor option to pass funding for ICE with a simple majority. And this was all because the funding for ICE is something that they wanted. Why would Donald Trump say no? Why would Donald Trump say no deals with Democrats? Because it's not like they're bringing a deal where they don't also get money for ICE. It's not about that. They're getting everything that they want. And Donald Trump still said no. Which lends itself to what I've been saying over and over and over and over. The only thing that makes sense about this Trump administration, the only thing that makes sense, this is the only way that you can look at this and it makes any type of sense. Because if you think about it any other way, if you think about it from a humanitarian lens, it doesn't make sense. If you think of it through a economics lens, it doesn't make sense. If you think of it through a civics lens, it doesn't make sense. There's nothing about this administration that makes sense unless you look at it through the lens of cruelty. The only thing that this administration cares about is cruelty. They don't care about the American people. They don't care about the economy. They don't care about the environment. They don't care about re-election. The only thing that makes sense is if you say, well, they have to be doing this because they want to be cruel. That makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense to me. If they want to be cruel, if they're trying to engage in cruelty, then it makes perfect sense. Anything else makes no sense at all. Anything else makes no sense at all. Now, what I'll say about all of this as well is that people are getting fed up. People are getting fed up. And now even the ultra wealthy are starting to punch back, which that's not good for Trump. That's not good for this administration. We all know what happens when the ultra wealthy start to pull their support. And this person's gonna load. Oh. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
No, I'm not a Trump supporter. I just want to let you know, Santana, that I love the heck out of you. Our church.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Please. only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates, and we desperately are trying to get some Trump supporters up here, or anyone that disagrees, because they are terrified. But guys, please, thank you. I love you guys. I appreciate you so much. Please, only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you want to get a message across, you can drop it in the chat. I'm reading the chat. You can get the message to one of my mods. If it's important, they'll get it to me. Or if there's something that you want to say, you can always send it through the pay links, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links and links are in the bio. Or if you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I'll read it out. But please, respect the boundaries. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. Or like Mary, W's in the chat for Mary. Thank you for the cake. Mary sent a $25 donation saying, I'm disturbed about your response to the donos saying all white people should not be allowed in government. You agree? Did you mean that? Wait, Mary said, I'm disturbed about your response to a dono saying all white people should not be allowed in our government. You agreed. Did you mean that? Mary, one, thank you for the $25 donation. Two, you're watching the live right now. Look at the screen. What does it say on the screen? It says remove white men from power. Remove white men from power. This is something that we had a hard time with yesterday, where there were some fragile white men that kept coming up and saying, oh, you want to disenfranchise all white people. That's racist. You're so racist because you want to get, why are you targeting all white people? I said, I'm not saying all white people. That doesn't say all. Tell me where it says all. It does not say all. I am very intentional with my words. Very intentional with my words. And my words are remove white men from power. Just to make sure. Now, if you disagree with the fact that I want to remove white men from power, get up here. Tell me about it. If anyone disagrees with removing white men from power, get up here. Tell me about it. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
How come you think white people feel like they're going to be disenfranchised? And maybe do you think they understand why they would be?
Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
No, I'm from England, sorry, but I just had that one question.
Okay, well, I'm going to drop you down, but I will answer. Well, the reason why is because they're afraid of being minorities. Now, the reason why they're afraid of being minorities, now that's a topic. Hi, Liz, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
I am not a Trump supporter, but I would like a little more clarification on remove white men from power. Yeah. I mean, do you mean all white men?
Yeah.
Why?
Why would you want to keep white men in power?
I don't necessarily. However, I do believe that not all of them is awful.
What do you mean?
I believe that some are actually honest people.
You think so?
I do.
What percentage would you say? If you had to throw a number.
Oh, I'm going to say it's a very low percentage. But maybe 20, 25.
Oh, okay. That's higher than I would expect. Okay. All right. So I got a question for you.
Okay.
If you had a bowl of Skittles, right? There was a bowl of Skittles, and there was 100 Skittles in the bowl. And out of 100 Skittles in that bowl, 25 of them were just normal, wonderful, taste the rainbow Skittles. But 75 of them were poison Skittles. You eat those Skittles, are you gonna reach in that bowl and grab a Skittle? Why?
I am
but
not.
But you know for a fact that there's 25 Skittles in that bowl that nothing wrong with it. They're delicious. Why wouldn't you?
But because I don't know which ones are poisonous and which ones are the good ones, I wouldn't take that chance. And I get you now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, I appreciate you for coming up.
All right.
All right. Have a good one.
Great. Hey.
Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Not going to hold you. That wasn't my analogy. I heard my little brother Dean talking about, I forgot what they were talking about yesterday, but he used a similar analogy. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to use that. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
Hey, Santana. No, I'm not a Trump supporter. However, I would just like some clarification with one of your topics that you have on the background regarding cutting the military budget.
Yes.
In particular.
Okay.
So, would it not be ethical to have the same military budget that we have now, just in a way to ensure that we can keep our our military at peak with what we are? Although I do not agree with the war going on in Iran. Don't support Trump. This whole thing is fucking stupid, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah. No, I would say the reason why I say no is because the current budget of $1 trillion and Donald Trump is advocating for it to become 1.5 trillion. There's wasteful spending across the board. If you take a look at the amount of funds that are allocated to different avenues within our military, there's money that has been spent that's being wasted, including like government contracts that are handed out that continue to just like dump money in the pockets of people like Elon Musk with SpaceX and Peter Thiel with Palantir. So there's a lot of wasteful spending. And even if you talk about wasteful spending, you take a look at what happened in September of 2025, the fact that Pete Hegseth spent $93 billion on things like steak, lobsters, Apple products, recliners, ice cream machines, all because they had to meet the money that needed to be spent in order to retain the budgetary level for the next fiscal year. And you combine that with the fact with that the Pentagon, the DOD hasn't passed an audit in forever. They like the amount of lack of oversight that there is in order to ensure that there's appropriate spending is not something that's happening. Every president funds the military at a higher level than the president before without actually giving resources and additional support to like our men and women in uniform or our vets. So instead of us having the military budget the way it currently is, it needs to be actually adjusted. We need to redefine who is going to receive money. We need to put money in the pockets of our current men and women in uniform. We need to bolster the benefits for our veterans. And then we also need to ensure that we are taking that excess money and putting that towards social safety nets and services for everyday Americans.
Okay, that definitely makes sense. And honestly, I appreciate your insights and your knowledge and passing that on. I really appreciate what you, Parker, and Dean do. Like, seriously, changing the minds of these MAGA supporters. It's incredible what you guys are doing.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for coming up.
Of course.
All right. There's someone in the comments, big appetite. Only get a W in the chat for $2. Are you mad? Come up here and tell me about it, Bub. I'm going to mute you. Or you already been muted. Yeah, accept that invite. But W's in the chat for Mike for the $5 dono, saying, "What up, Mike?" Who said, "Love you, bro. I love you more." And W's in the chat for Mike for that $5 dono. Also, W's in the chat for Tori for the $5 super chat to say he's trying to show the quote unquote radical left as the real enemy. That's why he won't make the deals. It's the Neomoral poem playing out in real time. I don't know that poem, but I'm gonna go check that out. W's in the chat, guys. If anyone else like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links and link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Hi, are you a Trump supporter? Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's some wicked background. W's in the chat for Bear. Dad bod.
What's going on, man? How are you?
Good, good, good.
Yep.
Is there any way that you can step into like a quieter area? The music is kind of.
Are you hearing music in the background?
Yep.
Yeah. No, unfortunately not now. I'm currently walking around Lowe's.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you like, you can come back at another time. But the sound, I mean, the music is really loud.
All right. Sounds good, man.
All right. Thank you. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We are only looking for some debates. Only request up as a Trump supporter. If you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background, we're only looking for some debates. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
I am not a Trump supporter, but I do disagree with something on the background.
Okay.
Specifically sorry?
You kind of got some wicked background noise as well.
Sorry,
right.
I'm in the middle of playing video games. I paused it so that we could have the discussion.
Okay, which point do you disagree with on the background?
Yeah, I disagree with removing all white men from power.
Okay, tell me why.
To give some perspective, I grew up not knowing like the racial discrepancies between people. And please excuse my nerves. I'm going to pause and take deep breaths as I go.
Yeah, no worries. Also, like I know you paused the game, but can you turn it down because like the actual whole music or whatever is like super loud. W's in the chat for Bloody Quill, who sent a $5 super chat to say, as a white man, I get it. Don't stop. I know that's right. W's in the chat for Bloody Quill. Again, if anyone else likes to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links and link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat. I will read that out. Guys, keep tapping the screen. Let's get the likes up to 200,000 likes. Also, make sure if you look up at the top and you see the word follow, that means you're not following me. Hit that follow button. We're on our way to 100,000 followers. So please, please, please hit that follow button. And I think we're like over 97,000. We're close to like 98,000. So if you have not followed me, if you're watching, you haven't followed me, hit that follow button. If you're over on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. That'll help push out the VOD, and make sure you hit that follow button. There's like almost 500 people watching on YouTube, but we only got 153 thumbs up. Go ahead and just hit that thumbs up for me, please, please, please. And over on Twitch as well, W's in the chat for Lotus for the 100 bits for the cheers. And W's in the chat as well for Lotus, who sent 100 bits actually 3 times. And we got Lotus, who's on a Steam streak. W's in the chat for all that. We're 75% away from our bit goal over on Twitch. So do all the things and make sure you guys are following me. All right, that's a lot better. All right, so you said you disagree with the premise as far as removing all white men from power.
Yeah, and I would like to address something that I did see in the comments, which was the gender fluid comment.
Please don't. Don't
well,
read
no,
the comments.
It was asking for pronouns. It was asking
okay.
for pronouns.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
You guys can refer to me as any pronouns. I do not care, but typically I am referred to with masculine pronouns. That was it.
Okay. I thought I was gonna say usually you gotta lock in. I'm just gonna call you.
I know how bad the comments can get.
I'm gonna call you Yokin. Is that okay?
Kento is what I'm referred to most.
Kento,
so,
got it.
If that works.
Kento, got it.
So I disagree with it because while I do agree we do need a purging of the white males in office currently, I believe not allowing more newer, more like Gen Z, Gen X, millennial white men into power would be like our solution to that, because those have a more nuanced take on it. I think the current incumbents are the problem, not future white men in power. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. So, sorry. So you think white men that are younger, but since they have like a different perspective, would be a better group of people to let in office? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. I'm not saying that all positions need to be filled in by white people. Obviously, that doesn't, fill the requirements of representing every people of the United States. But I certainly think blocking them from taking positions of power is just pointless, because there are plenty of normal white people, guys and girls, who will fight for the rights of all people, regardless of their skin color, nationality, religion, things like that. So to block white people simply because, or white men simply because they're white men, would be pointless and destructive. Right?
Okay. So, how about this? I'm going to throw a couple of younger white men out, and you tell me when you feel like that would be a good idea to you. Nick Fuentes.
God fucking no.
Jake Lang.
No.
Aiden Ross.
I feel like I've heard that name before, but I do not know who or what. I do agree that it does take research in order to allow the right people in.
Barron Trump.
Fuck no.
Theo Vaughn.
I don't know that person.
Okay.
I would need more knowledge on it.
Okay. Well, the reason why I brought those people up, and there's more, but the reason why I what about Reed Olson? You know him?
I feel like I've heard the name, but I do not know them in general.
Yeah.
I'm not for white supremacy or anything like that, just so that we're fully aware of that.
Yeah. What about Matt Nuclear? He sucks.
I like how you say the name and then say he sucks.
He does.
I don't know the name. I haven't heard the name at all. You saying his name is the first time I've heard it.
Got it.
I try to stay more informed. I see a perspective and get a lot of my information from left or middle news circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
So like the names that I hear most commonly are like the Nick Fuentes and the Jake Langs, where it's them doing absolutely horrible things in the name of white supremacy or, fighting against my community. So
Well, and so the point that I'm trying to get across here is, like, while I understand your premise as far as like, oh, it's not a white man thing, it's an age thing, it's really not, right? And something that I often talk about is the fact that over the history of our country, over the 250 years, there has been a hold of power of 90% of Congress, right? Senate, the House, and the presidency has been held by white men. And that's white men of all ages, from younger white men to older white men, like just white men, right? And when you talk about the fact that white men have never been marginalized ever in America, unless they somehow have one of those intersex, right? If they have a disability, if they're part of the queer community, things along those lines. But a cishet white Christian man in America is the most privileged person to ever exist, and also sits at the very top of the patriarchal system. And so when you have someone who sits at the top of the patriarchal system and has a lack of understanding the struggles that anyone else through any other marginalized community would experience, then they do things and they pass legislation and they take actions that would not harm them, but at the same time actively harm other communities. And see, that's the problem. no matter how much you can sit here and say, well, there's some of them, and maybe we need to cycle out the old and get the new one in. There's a whole new crop of young white men that are worse than the current crop of old white men.
I can see your perspective, and I can take a step back coming from the ideology of I never grew up with, having the quote white privilege that other people of my skin color have had.
What do you mean by that?
I don't see I'm white.
No. What do you mean? What do you mean not having the white privilege? I grew up on the
east side of Indiana, so I grew up in predominantly Black community with a lot of Hispanics and Koreans and
Hispanic people, Korean people. I'm still trying to understand, what do you mean by you didn't have the same white privilege as other people?
Most of the environments I came from were, I hate to say this because it sounds horribly misogynistic, but or bigoted. I think bigoted is the right word. Racist? I don't know. Sorry. Excuse me. I'm ADHD. My family grew up poor. So I didn't grow up with all the opportunities of typical, white patriarchy benefits, because I ended up being pushed into public schooling, and, my mom worked 3 jobs and my dad was almost never around. So I didn't get the same white privilege. I grew up being treated just like everybody else. I was a poor white kid in a predominantly diverse background.
Yeah. So wait. So just to make sure I understand. So since you didn't grow up, wealthy or well off, and so you didn't have white privilege in the sense of like other white people, you were similarly similar to the Black or brown people that you live with and around. Is that an accurate statement?
Yeah. A lot of I've been in cuffs for just being in the wrong neighborhood,
Mm-hmm.
So I have a better I have a more diverse perspective, and I understand that. Mm-hmm. So definitely from my perspective, I can understand where my lack of understanding is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like that blocking white men from power, because we do have great examples of, newer generation.
Yeah, there are some good white men out there.
Deserve power.
Yeah, they absolutely deserve power.
I feel like blocking them from that opportunity is not what we should be doing.
Yeah. You know what?
That being said,
I hear. Well, one second, but I feel like I hear you. I feel like I'm getting your perspective and your point of view, and more so in the sense that you're saying since you don't have that type of white privilege, that you have the understanding of where someone like me, a Black man, is coming from, and you fully understand my perspective, and there's other people like you that would be the same. Is that accurate?
Yeah. I mean, we have great examples between Dean and Parker do an amazing job of being able to stand and see the perspective of all sides and do the best decision for everyone involved. Is that not a, I guess, correct statement?
It's a statement. Hey, a question. If I were to FaceTime either Dean or Parker right now and say, hey, I have a prompt on my background that says we need to remove all white men from power, do you think they would say, well, no, let's not remove all of them because there's some good ones? Or do you think they would say, yeah, let's remove all white men from power? Your best guess. What do you think?
If I had to make a guess, my best guess would be that they would say remove all the incumbent ones currently, all the ones.
You think so?
Current. I do believe so. At least from what I've seen watching Dean and Parker, I'm on a lot of these lives to just watch and listen, and because that's where I get a lot of my information from, especially when it comes to the newer sources and a lot of the problems that are going on in the world right now.
So, one last question, because I think like we're almost there. The idea of like not having white privilege is something that like I can see where you're coming from and the point that you're trying to get across. But that would also speak to the fact that like, you know, since you have experienced those other experiences similar to like your black and brown counterparts, right, from where you're from, have you experienced one of the most tough experience for black and brown people, or, you know, myself as a black man, is racism? Do you think that you would be able to understand that perspective as well? Like, you as a white man, have you ever experienced racism?
I don't think in the same way. Systemically, no. Systemically, no, I have not experienced racism from a typical standpoint.
But you have experienced racism.
I believe that I have experienced it from a person-to-person basis. That being said, it's not the same. I'm fully aware that it is not the same.
Got it.
Does that make sense?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Fair enough.
No, not no in the sense of like I don't understand what you're saying. Like no in the sense of like it's everything that you said has been illogical. From the premise that you've made as far as like white privilege to interpersonal racism to like even what you think Dean and Parker would say, all of it has been completely illogical. First and foremost, the argument that you were given is class reductionism. Do you know what that is?
No.
Okay. So it's the premise that just because the economic status that you share with someone that is a non-white person puts you in the same position. It's an argument saying like, oh, it's all about the money. It's not. It's not. Because even if you're in a situation where your economic level is the same economic level as a black person, you don't have to deal with that additional intersectional lens of racism, right? And so while you may have made the statement that, oh, I've been in handcuffs before, I completely agree. I completely agree. But you've never been in handcuffs because you were black, right? Let's not overlook the fact that when it comes to black people are over policed. They are over arrested. That's why they have the highest God damn it. What it starts with the R. Why am I blanking on the word? Like they are it's turned over. What's the word? Why am I blanking the word? No, it's not incarceration rate. No, not recidivism. Exoneration is not. Yeah, of course, exoneration starts with an R. They have they have the highest exoneration. They have the highest exoneration rate. This person, anonymous, of course, he's listed as anonymous because there's an anonymous clown who won't come up here and debate. I'm going to mute you. And of course, they follow me. Get up here and debate me, you asshat. He said that it's bullshit. The word is bullshit. Come up here and prove it. You fucking snowflake. Anyway, they have the highest exoneration rate. And that's because a lot of times they are solely the reason why they're being arrested is due to racism. So your premise that like, oh, it boils down to the fact that like you have those shared lived experiences because of your economic status, while you guys might have some overlap, it's not reduced to that's the sole reason that those things are happening, where black people can experience those things due to racism. So that argument doesn't necessarily fly. But then also when you talk about like interpersonal racism, like that's not a thing. If you would have to say someone was racist towards you, which you said that you've experienced interpersonal racism, what did that look like?
So for me, growing up, English. Sorry, first off, English isn't even my first language, so please excuse me. So when I say I have experienced interpersonal racism, from my perspective, I would like that to be clear. I'm saying from my perspective, is going into my own communities where I grew up and being either hated or railed against simply for existing in that space.
Right. So what does that mean? Like hated or railed against? Does that mean like they called you names?
Calling names.
What names did they call you
before? Just typical hateful names. Just cracker, things like that. I'm not saying it's the same as racial slurs. Please do not put those words in my mouth. But
do you know where the term cracker came from?
I believe it was the term used for white slave owners. Because they would use whips. No.
Well, so it started in France as a terminology for white people towards other poor white people. They called poor white people crackers. And then there was an iteration of the term that was coined in the U.S. during slavery, which again was done by other white people, crackers. So believing that like someone saying that you're a cracker would mean that like that's the racist slur or anything like that, that there's no history
it's the general
behind the word.
For me, sorry, it was more about the hateful words towards me simply because I was white. Cracker is not necessarily the only thing that was said.
Do you think racism is about hate?
I think it has a predominance in hate.
No. You don't have to hate someone in order to engage in racism. It's literally a system, an actual structure, and an actual functioning, existing system that has perpetuated harm. It does not rely on hate at all.
Okay.
So again, like the premise that you were hated or called, cracker or whatever like that, that does not establish like being a victim of racism.
Okay. Then I'm glad. I will gladly take a step back on that one. That was my understanding of racism. That's fair. I believe that you shouldn't discriminate against a person simply because they're a different color or race or gender or anything like that. So like, to me, racism has to be, at least in my mind, racism was always predominated in hate.
Who created race?
That makes any sense. I heard somebody talk about this. I know it was, forgive me if I'm wrong, but it was something brought up that started in religion, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong.
Gomez de Zurara.
I could be wrong.
Gomez de Zurara, a Portuguese man, created race in order to get justification from the Catholic Church to engage in chattel slavery. Race is a social construct that's based off of socially acceptable phenotypical characteristics that was created for the othering of non-white people so they could create a free and cheap labor class, i.e. chattel slavery. And so racism is the perpetuation that continues to uphold whiteness and continue to disenfranchise non-white people in multiple of ways, whether it's through the education system, the healthcare system, through the financial system. All of those things are actively working to harm non-white people. And so when you talk about like race and racism, the construction of race and how racism works, If you're not white, you cannot weaponize the system, which is racism. Like literally, it was created for those people. And so if you're not white, you can't control those levers or power. You can be hateful, you can be bigoted, but you can't be racist. So that's why, like, I'd say Black people can't be racist, because Black people can't co-opt the functionality of racism.
That's fair. Okay. That was my misunderstanding of the word. I can take a step back and respect that.
Yeah. So
we did kind of get way off topic.
No, we're still on topic. I'm tracking.
Okay.
I know where we are. Like, so and I was just about to say the point that I'm getting to is like understanding that you and I just had to have this full-blown conversation, right? And there was a lot that you thought that you knew. There was a lot of lived experience that you thought that you had, and then you even kind of classified yourself as one of the good ones, right?
But no, I would never say that I'm one of the good ones. I've made mistakes in my life, and I understand that.
Right, but I was like, do you mean people like you? And you was like, yeah, there's people like me. That's what you said.
There's people like me who understand to a better degree, but
right. But I said people. I said, so you would keep people like you in power, and you said yes.
No, I said get rid of all of the incumbents. The people that are currently holding office, we need to get rid of.
Right. I said, would it be people like you that we would want to have power? You said yes. Yeah, that was a specific
like
question.
Okay, hold on. Because now I'm tying myself into knots. Let me clarify by what I mean. Yes, I don't believe myself to be one of the good ones. I simply agree.
Who would you classify as one of the good ones?
I wouldn't classify any of us as one of the good ones. Any people. The only good people are the people who continue to be informed and try to re-inform themselves on a better perspective that would allow themselves to, if put into office, would allow themselves to make the best decisions for all people of the nation, regardless of race, color, sex, gender, or identity.
So how do we quantify that if specifically talking about white men who overwhelmingly have never been marginalized? Now, again, there are exceptions for those people that fall within that intersect, right? But let's take an example. Gavin Newsom, right? Straight, cis, white man in America who has ran the most successful state in our country. He would be one. He's someone that people holds up as like, oh, he's one of the good ones. How has Gavin Newsom ever been marginalized and can understand the marginalization that Black people, that queer people, that people with disabilities, how could he ever truly understand the lived experiences? And how has he completely deconstructed his biases to ensure that when he's doing things, that it's not harmful to those marginalized communities?
Well, I can't answer for another person. I can't tell you what another person has done other than taking their actions and what they say and what they do and matching them to the correct, or at least what they believe and what their actions are telling us.
Would you say that Gavin Newsom would be someone that you would keep in power?
Interrupt me.
Would you say that Gavin Newsom would be someone that you would want to have in power?
From what I've seen, I could say yes, but
okay. So how do you feel about Gavin Newsom's comments towards the transgender community then, and saying while on a podcast with Republicans saying that, yes, we need to tone down the rhetoric as far as transgender people?
You asked a question. I'm going to finish answering it. I would need
you answer the question.
More research.
You did,
but I did not finish my answer because
you didn't finish monologuing.
This current question.
It seems like you're getting a little bit upset because now you're getting uncomfortable.
I am starting to get a little upset.
Do you know what the right to comfort is? The right to comfort is a tenet of white supremacy. It is literally something where white people feel as if they have the right to feel comfortable in every situation. You and I are now talking about something, and this thing is making you feel uncomfortable because it's challenging your worldview. And since it's challenging your worldview, it's actually making you feel uncomfortable, i.e. you're getting upset. Literally, you're engaging in white supremacy right now because the things that I'm saying is shifting you to a place of being uncomfortable where you're getting upset and getting angry.
A misunderstanding. I'm not getting upset because I'm getting angry. I'm getting upset because I feel like I'm not being heard. And which is understandably on me. And I get it. I feel like I need more information on the situation around Gavin Newsom and everything before I were to fully commit to being for the guy.
The reason why I kept cutting you off, and it's not that I'm trying to be rude or like not let you be heard, but what you're trying to do is preference, right? I have very direct questions and you are giving answers, but then you're trying to hedge your bets as far as what you're saying, and which I understand if you might not have all full information, but we're trying to get to an actual understanding within the conversation. And so like, I don't need like hedging or prefacing or anything like that. That's why I keep cutting you off. It's not to be rude. It's to try to keep the conversation on track and not allow us to like go off into like other subsections.
Perfect. Thank you. I'm sorry. I do understand that comes from my own perspective on the situation. I will do my best to just answer the question that you have asked.
The point that I was trying to get to when giving Gavin Newsom as a reference is that even in those situations, right, where Gavin Newsom is someone who has been a successful leader for one of the most successful states in our nation, even when faced with the sitting across another white man, he immediately turned his back on a marginalized community, the transgender community, in order to align himself with whiteness, in order to align himself with another cishet white man, because of the fact that like that's how the structure is in place. So the point that I'm getting across is that when you have those people in power, while they may do things that would benefit marginalized communities at time, they're not going to be in a position where they're always going to be aware or even care about marginalized communities. And so that is going back to even, there's no example of a white man that you can hold up that I'm going to say like, yes, I think that we need to keep them in power at this time. Like the fact of the matter is, if you look at the history of our country, and I'm not just making this decision based off of a today thing, I'm making this decision based off of the fact that we have 250 years of history. We have the entire Constitution that is a ragtag bunch of amendments and articles that was written by white men for white men that own land, and everybody else was an afterthought. We can talk about the fact that today women are disenfranchised directly by white men. Black people are disenfranchised directly by white men. The queer community are directly disenfranchised by white men. All of these factors, and then you combine in the fact that I'm talking about this war, which was started by a Jewish white man that's been perpetuated by an orange white man that is being driven by a drunk white man, leads me to the point where I'm saying we need to remove all white men out of power. I don't care who it is. It can be anyone else except the white man in power. And we allow them to guide our country to stop this war and to get us back on track and stabilize the country. After we figure it out, sure, let's talk about reintegrating white men into power, but not until we fix the shit, because right now we're fucked.
Okay, so my misunderstanding comes from the ideology that I thought you meant completely removing them and never bringing them back into a cause. Bringing them back into the system, because that is my misunderstanding, and I do apologize for that. But I definitely think we agree on that then. So I do apologize. I don't know how to remove myself, but
I got you.
I definitely agree with you on that one.
All right. Well, thanks for coming up. I hope you have a good day.
You too.
Thank you. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background, we're only looking for some debates. Only requests up if you are a Trump supporter, or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. Bad views, welcome up.
Howdy.
Howdy. I see that you grabbed the testicular fortitude and got up there in the box. I love that for you.
Okay.
Bad views, are you a Trump supporter or just disagree with something on the background? Where do you stand?
I voted for Trump, and I actually agree with most of the stuff up here. Like, I think removing U.S. global presence, America first, America alone, I think that's great.
America first is
AIPAC, I think that's
racist.
great. Oh, so, I mean, who should our politicians be, trying to support?
The people.
Americans
the
first,
premise of
or-
America first is racist.
Okay, then call it something else. I think we both understand, like, what I'm saying is remove U.S. global presence. That probably means we focus more on America.
So
Right?
what do you disagree with?
Well, I guess I don't understand what you mean by remove white men from power. Like, I prefer democracy, and like when people get elected, I think those people should serve. Where it sounds like you think like we shouldn't even let these people run for office. Like, what are you saying?
Get them up out the paint.
So vote them out.
No, just remove them.
Wow. So no democracy for white people.
I didn't say anything about white people. I said white men. The white women can stay.
But you just want to make it so white men can't run for office?
Yep.
That's kind of crazy.
Why?
Because I think people should be able to vote for whoever they want, and it sounds like you don't. It sounds like
how's that worked out for us for the 250 years that we've been a country?
Well, I can say that since probably the early 2000s, it's really gone towards the shitter.
Yeah. You don't think that it was in the shitter when like we had slavery? You don't think it was you don't think it was in the shitter when women were second-class citizens and they could legally be raped by their husbands?
I'm talking about my own.
You don't think it was in the shitter when we were putting Japanese people in internment camps?
If you listen, I'm talking about my own experience in my
also,
life.
it's anecdotal.
Sure. I mean,
but it's not all about you, Bub.
Yeah, but it is about it's kind of about democracy, and if people want to vote for white dudes,
okay. But if it's all about democracy, then why are we talking about your anecdotal experience? Why aren't we talking about the totality of the country and the history that we have faced as a whole through the country?
Well, I mean, I don't know if there's much we can do to change what happened 200 years ago.
I'm not saying change anything 200 years ago. I'm saying understand what's happened since the inception of the country and use that to make the decision for today, which is we need to get all the white men out of power.
So no more democracy.
Yeah, plenty of democracy, just excluding white men.
That's not democracy.
Absolutely is.
So, I mean, this is kind of crazy. Like, as somebody that grew up in a mostly white community, it's like, if we want to vote for a white dude, you're saying we shouldn't be allowed.
Again, how has that worked out for us for 250 years?
I mean,
wait. For James Thunderson, you said that's not democracy. I'm going to mute you. Come up here and tell me how that's not democracy.
Oh, he's
One
right.
second. Oh, okay. Sure. You guys can go 2-on-1 with the great one. Get up here, James. I sent you, accept that request. Both you and Bad Views have bad opinions, and I'm about to smack those down. Get up here.
Wait, so, I mean, tell me what you mean. Like, how do we remove them from power?
Hold on. We can, hold on. Yeah, that's what I thought, James. That's what I thought, you coward. How is that not democracy by saying that don't let white men actually run for office or be in power?
Well, because if a state wants to nominate a white guy and then vote for him to represent them, and they aren't allowed to because your worldview is completely insane, like it's not democracy at all.
So, okay, all right. I mean, I get it. So you would say, wait, you would say our country, you would say that our country is based in democracy, right?
Pretty close to it, yeah.
Okay, and you would say that we actively participate in democracy, right?
Yeah.
And you would say that we have a history of democracy, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Was it democracy when only white men that own land could vote?
It wasn't as good as it is now.
But was it democracy when only white men that own land could vote?
I mean, I guess not. But look what democracy is.
Whoa. No. You're being bad faith. You're being bad faith. Stop it. Stop it. Was it democracy, yes or no, when only white men that owned land could vote?
I said no.
Yes, it was.
Okay.
It was literally democracy. That was literally democracy. Literally.
Well, yeah, like representative democracy, they were allowed to vote and the other people weren't. If you were a landowner, you could vote.
And the point, listen, you already started off being bad faith by saying you guess not, stop it. You know that it's wrong, but it technically was democracy, just like it was democracy when all white men could vote, and then it was a democracy when just men could vote, and now it's democracy saying that everybody can vote. It's been democracy, and it's still democracy if you remove white men from that ability to actually be put in power. No matter if you like it or not, it's still democracy.
It's kind of funny to think that, like, because it was only white men back then, like it's actually been white men that's like gotten to the point where everybody gets to vote now. Like white men could have just kept all the votes for themselves if they
couldn't
really
have.
that awful.
They couldn't have.
Why not?
Because if you can only suppress a group of people for so long until they actually overthrow, and that's the nice way of saying it. That's literally the nice way to say it. And white men are the minority when it comes to the totality of the country. There's more people in our country that are not white men than there are white men.
Isn't that the same for like every demographic?
Yes. So what I'm saying is if white men were continuing to say we are the only ones that are going to have power and no one else is going to have rights, then everyone else would come together like fucking Captain Planet and get you all out the paint.
But what you're saying is white men shouldn't be able to be represented. If they want to vote for
white men can be represented by anyone else except white men.
And it's just insane. It's
why?
Like,
you hold that thought. I got a couple of thank yous I got to get off because I'm getting behind, and I want to say thank you, and I want you to think about that because like I haven't even laid out like the entire argument, and like you're not doing well. So collect yourself. W's in the chat for Trey for the $5 super chat to say white privilege isn't rich or poor. All classes of white people have some sort of white privilege, whether they know it or not. W's in the chat for Trey. W's in the chat for Muzi, who sent a $5 super chat to say, white people understand this. James Tellerico just had calls for being unalived by a pastor. White privilege, Christian privilege can and will be revoked from ops. Exactly. Like literally that happens. W's in the chat for Jason for the $5 donation saying, I'm a middle-aged cis-het white man. In the state I live, Republicans have a supermajority. Currently, none against the Republican white lady in my district. I was planning to try to take out one red seat out of the House. You think I shouldn't? I have a trans son affected by the anti-trans bill. That's a tough call. Jason, I would say that it's always good.
He shouldn't run. He's a white guy. He shouldn't run. Come on. Be consistent.
Can I finish thanking my donations, my donors? Anyway, Jason, like I was saying, that's kind of a hard thing to say. While I understand the need and desire for you to help take back the stronghold that you live in, you're literally saying that you're going to put your family at risk, especially your child that is a part of the transgender community. That's a tough decision. I wouldn't feel comfortable with saying yes or no. I would just say, like, make sure you're making the best decision, not only for like the place that you live, but your family. So, but you know, if you make that decision and there's anything that I can do to support, let me know. W's in chat for Gregory for the $2 donation saying, racism transcends class, gender, and sexual orientation. I know wealthy Black people who have experienced racism, facts. While there may be overlap between race, class, gender, and sexual orientation, racism is its own. Exactly. W's in the chat for Rebecca for the $5 donation saying, thank you for using your platform. I've learned quite a bit from you. Thank you, Rebecca. That makes me happy. W's in the chat for Jared for the $1 donation saying, Captain Planet, he's our hero. Bringing white representation down to 0. W's in the chat for Jared for that $1 donation. Guys, if anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Guys, keep tapping the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up. Let's get the likes moving. Let's get to 300,000 likes. Also, can we knock out the daily gift goal? It's the little high bears. Please, please, please. Can we knock out the high bears? And make sure that you're following me, guys. We're trying to get to 100,000 followers. We got 14 new followers on the stream, and we've been live for almost 2 hours. I know there's more than 14 people who have not followed me. Hit that follow button. All right. So bad views. Besides having bad views and bad takes, can you substantiate like what benefit has having white men in power? What benefit has it had for all people throughout the history of our country?
I can't tell you that, but I do. I need some understanding here. So let's say I grow up. It's probably 95% white here. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Who gets to decide who gets to run for office?
Anybody that's not a white man.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. So we're just going to disenfranchise 95% of the people?
You think white men make up 95% of the people?
No, I'm saying in like where I grow up, it's probably 95% white.
Where'd you get that number from?
It's pretty white around here.
Are you from Iowa?
No, I'm from Utah.
You're from Utah? Okay. So is 95% of Utah made up of white men?
No, but I mean, 95% of people might want to vote for a white man.
Yeah, but that's fine. But is Utah made up of 95% white men?
No, of course not.
Are there white women that live in Utah?
Yeah.
Then let them run.
What if they don't want to? What if
then let somebody else run? Again, you keep saying like unless Utah is made up 100% of white men, and I didn't know about it, then there's another option.
Is it fair to say you don't believe in democracy?
Nope. Well, actually, you know what? Yes, it is fair to say I don't believe in democracy. Not in this take, but overall as a standing. No, I think that, I think my vote shouldn't count as much as other people vote, honestly. And the reason why I say that is because people are willing to vote off of emotions, off of being selfish, off of being propagandized, off of being unintelligent. And I would be controversial take. I would be in favor of some type of civics test before you get a vote. You have to, show that you at least have some level of understanding, because you got people voting for tariffs while the person saying tariffs are going to lower prices. Shit doesn't make sense. They believe that other country pays the tariffs. You got people literally voting saying Donald Trump's going to tariff other countries and it's going to make our prices lower. And that's why we're here today. So yeah, I don't really believe in democracy as constructed.
Oh, that's a hot take. You don't even want dumb people represented.
Please don't say that word. That's an ableist term, D-U-M-B. I don't care if you
I don't give a shit what it is.
Listen.
Dumb. We can't say dumb anymore.
Hey, so
That's insane.
one, yeah. I'm gonna mute you. This is my platform, and those are my boundaries. If you can't respect them, then you can fuck off. If you can, then we can continue the conversation. But I said, don't say that because it's an ableist term. Are we good?
What's the word I should use instead of it?
Stupid, idiot. Sure, if that's what you want to use. I'm just telling you, don't use that term. Okay. I don't care. Like, sure, find a supplemental term. I say stupid. I call people idiots, damn idiots. I don't care what you use, but that term is off limits on my platform.
How are they not all bad words?
When we talk about words that cause harm to other communities, there's a rooted history as far as weaponization towards disenfranchising them. And when you talk about the word DUMB, you talk about the history of it being used towards people with disabilities to generalize, marginalize, and harm them. So when you talk about words, it depends on the way that the word has been used throughout history to negatively impact people. There's so much to it, you wouldn't understand it, but whatever. Like, you just got to trust me on this one.
Okay.
Anyway, back to what you were saying.
I was just more curious if you like democracy, and I'm glad we finally got to the point where you can just say fuck democracy. We don't want that.
Yeah, I'm literally, you can try to sit and say that's what I'm saying in this scenario. I've been clear in articulating, saying that's not what I'm advocating for at all in this scenario. If you're asking my personal opinion, then yes, that's my personal opinion. But I also understand the difference between like my personal opinion versus what's practical and beneficial for the whole. Like, I don't do things based off of me. That's why when you start talking about your anecdotal experience, I said, well, it's not all about you. So even though I might be someone that doesn't believe in the restrictions that should be placed within democracy, I'm also someone that understands that practically speaking, that's not something that would be beneficial.
I think I just got a better idea. Why don't we just stop white men from voting at all?
If that's what you want to do, that's not what I'm advocating for. I mean, if you want to keep it funky, I don't think men should be able to vote.
Yeah, we should remove all men in power.
Yeah. Why not? Did you think that was a gotcha? Like,
No,
I've literally advocated and debated that point.
That was a gotcha. I just like, it's so dumb.
I've literally,
oh, sorry,
you did it again.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
I've literally advocated for removing all men from power. Like, that's not a hot take. Like, yes, I agree. We should remove all men from power. It's about the patriarchal system.
Like, in this remove whatever, like, is remove, like, I read it kind of as by force almost.
Yeah, if necessary.
Okay.
If they won't go peacefully, then we make them.
And I'm no Gavin Newsom fan, but I do need to clear something up you were saying about what he said. Because I believe, like, he was specifically because he couldn't find a way to justify trans women competing against women. And he was pretty specific about that. Like, he's passed more pro-trans stuff in California than maybe any other state. But he can't justify allowing trans women to take women's spots. So I think we just need to be clear there.
It's not what he said. It's literally not. Give me a second here.
While you look, can I ask you about something that Ibram X. Kendi actually wrote, which I do not understand at all?
I don't know who you're referring to, but give me a second here. So while he did talk about, and this was with Charlie Kirk in 2025 on his podcast, and he did talk about transgender women being in sports and girls, he said it's deeply unfair. And he said, we've got to own that. We have to acknowledge it. He also talked about the impact that it has on the political culture and saying that it was a losing issue. He said, we're getting crushed on it. Crush, crush, crush. He also said that talking about the people in being in sports, that I don't roll people under the bus, quite the contrary. But when it comes to sports, it's impacting other people's rights. And so the entire point is, while he did try to skate the line as far as transgender people, he obviously spoke to the transgender community as a whole and using the transgender community as a political pawn, right? Stating that if it ensures some type of political power, then he's willing to disenfranchise transgender people in order to obtain political power. That's the issue.
But by allowing trans women in women's sports, aren't you
I don't want to talk about transgender
women?
people. Like, that's not the conversation. I'm just saying that, like, literally you're sitting here saying that, well, his actual, like what he was saying, it wasn't that bad. Like, what I'm saying is it's not about him saying that, oh, it's unfair or anything like that. It's literally him saying that depending on the situation, transgender people's rights are negotiable. If he's willing to actually, if it's going to help him get political power, then he's willing to see the rights of transgender people. And if he's willing to see the rights of transgender people to gain political power, then he's willing to see the rights of anyone else that is not a white man to get political power. Because again, white men will pass legislation to disenfranchise any and every other marginalized community, but they will not do any of that to disenfranchise themselves. So as long as this means that Gavin Newsom isn't affected as a white cis het man, then he's willing to do it. But if it comes to his doorstep, he's not fucking with it.
Got it. And you don't know who Ibram X. Kendi is? I believe he wrote How to Be an Anti-Racist.
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't know that's who it was. I'm really bad with names, though.
Yeah.
Like,
so,
really bad with names, like notoriously bad with names.
Yeah.
But why are you
like,
why are you questioning me on that?
Well, just because you might help me be able to get to, like, there's something he wrote that actually
wait, hold on. You want me to educate you on something?
Well, I mean, I think it'll be hard to, but you can try to make it make sense.
Okay. Yeah. Hit the pay links.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you are going to be able to educate me on this.
Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links, and link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. I don't, like, black people labor isn't free. I'm not going to educate you on anything for free. If you got a like off-topic question and you want information about it, or you want me to try, sure, I'm willing to do that for you, but you're going to have to pay for it. Debbie's in the chat for Caroline. Caroline sent a $25 donation saying, I love tuning into your lives. I swear I learned something new every day. I unintentionally fell into the same thought pattern as your last guest. Racism is also much more than just hate, and it's projected. Thank you for shedding a light on that for me. Absolutely. W's in the chat for Caroline. Thank you so much for that $25 donation. Sorry, guys. And W's in the chat for Kale, who has been a member for 12 months. What the fuck? W's in the chat for Kale, who used their 12-month membership super chat to say, isn't it racist and sexist to say my skin color and my sex are a problem? Can we not be judged on my political views, ethics, morals, and motivations? That's not how racism and sexism works, but I hear you. And when it comes to political views, ethics, morals, motivation, they are deeply impacted by not only your biases, but your intersex. But I get what you're saying. W's in the chat, though, for holy shit. What's that? That Bollocks guy? Holy fuck. That Bollocks guy just sent $100 YouTube super chat. Fucking W's in the chat. $100 YouTube super chat say, so I just joined. What I'm hearing is white men shouldn't represent themselves. Well, we have representation of a person has been represented by someone with different colored skin. Or will there be restrictions only applied to white men? Wouldn't that be racist? No. Thank you for the $100 super chat, but no, that's not racist. That's not how racism works. If you just joined and you're just listening, go back and listen to more of the actual VOD when I broke down with the last guest the system and structure of race and racism.
Together we are
fucking W's in the chat for Philip. That scared the hell out of me. W's in the chat for Philip. What up, Philip? Holy shit. W's in the chat for Philip. Philip is in the building. Woo! Philip said, let me make myself known. Holy shit. W's in the chat for Philip. That is crazy. Fucking W's in the chat for Philip. Holy fuck. Thank you, Philip. That scared the crap out of me. But yeah, that if you go back and take a listen and you understand the system, the structure, the functionality of race and racism, no, that's not racist. But I get what you're saying. W's in the chat for the donos, though, guys. If anyone else like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat, and I will read that out. Bad views. You haven't hit the pay link, so I'm assuming that you don't want me to educate you.
I don't know if you could, honestly.
Okay.
But yeah, I guess, do you think the only way to like fix our wrongs from the past is like present discrimination against those races or white men? Or...
I think the way to fix the wrongs from the past is equity.
Okay, well, you just educated me because I just like worded the questions. Like Ibram X. Kendi said, the only remedy for past discrimination is current.
If you want to come back up here and you want to actually, continue the debate or speak anymore, you just took an L, right? But you're not going to play in my face. You're not going to play in my face. So there's that. Now you got to hit the pay links to come back up. You got to hit the pay links to get back up here. Ain't no way. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart. Me, it's only one coin. It will boost the live and push this out to the FYP. He cooked you? That's what you said, Kelly? Oh, okay. Kelly, come up here. Let's see if you can cook me. I got you muted now, Bub. Let's see what you got. Hi, Jennifer. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background? Jennifer, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
I did not mean to. So sorry.
Okay, no worries. I'll drop you down. There's someone that's over on YouTube that came up for a debate, but they left. Deathstroke, if you're still listening, if you want to hop back up here on YouTube, I'll get you in here. Let's see, 1 second here. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something in the background?
I end up just continue to do something.
I think that's a kid. I think that's a kid. So Deb's in the chat for Shannon. Shannon's in a $5 donation saying, every time a white man comes up about the prompt, I think that here we effing go again. All so scared to disagree. Also scared and disregard white women. That's like the most interesting point of like all of this. Like that's the most interesting point of all of it, because while they are actively sitting here saying like, oh, I can't believe you're leaving white people out. And I'm like, no, it's not. We're not leaving white people out. We're not leaving white people out because there's white women. But that speaks to the fact that they think white women are incapable. That speaks to the fact that they think that white women are unable to actually be leaders, right? Because that's what it boils down to. Like it's the premise that if it's not white men, then there's no representation. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something in the background?
No, I did want to add to the conversation about white men out of politics.
Okay, but do you disagree with it? Hello? Hello? All right, I can't hear you. So I'm going to drop you down. Hey, I love you too. Yeah, it directly speaks to the fact that they're looking to disenfranchise white women even more. Like that's why they're so hell bent on passing the SAVE Act, right? They're good with passing the SAVE Act. Like that's what it boils down to. That's all it is.
Hi, sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries. Do you disagree with the point?
To an extent, I guess. I wanted to say.
To what extent do you disagree?
Because I think all men should be out of politics for at least a little while.
Yeah, I've already advocated for that, but I'm talking about right here, right now, in this moment, with everything that's occurring with the war in Iraq. I think that's the quickest possible solution. I think men shouldn't be able to vote for the next 32 years.
Okay. Well, I agree with that. Like, men should be out of it because, like, we should attack the misogyny too, and misogyny is ingrained in everyone in America. And so, yeah, that's all. I guess you agree. Sorry.
All right, appreciate it. Guys, only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
Yeah, I kind of disagree with one of them, yeah.
Okay.
I'm a Trump supporter, yeah. The AIPAC one?
Okay. Why do you disagree with banning AIPAC politicians?
Well, I kind of agree with it, but that's basically your whole party. So, like, it just doesn't make sense when you say ban AIPAC politicians. That's like all the left.
Okay.
So then what's the end goal?
Did you think that was a gotcha?
No, I'm trying to learn.
Wait. Do you see anything about left or right or anything? Was I like specific about anyone, like any political affiliation, or did I say all, like ban AIPAC politicians?
No, I assume you're a Democrat, right? So when you say
no, I'm not a Democrat, I'm a leftist. But again, where am I talking about Republicans or Democrats when I say AIPAC politicians? AIPAC funds both sides of the political aisle. So again, help me understand.
But it's majority Democrats.
Help me understand. If we're talking about AIPAC and we're talking about politicians that take money from AIPAC, would that be limiting that to one political party? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, so then, like, you don't have the gotcha that you think that you have. You think that I don't understand.
I'm not doing it. I got
you think that you think that I don't understand that that Democrats take AIPAC money? Yes, I get that, and I'm saying any politician that actually takes AIPAC money that supports AIPAC. So if you're sitting here saying that, oh, well, I disagree because wouldn't that just be your party? I don't give a fuck about that. So if that's not the actual point that you're trying to do,
there's not competition.
If that's not your actual point, then actually substantiate a point why you think that we should not ban politicians that take AIPAC money.
Because if 80% of the Democrats take AIPAC money,
that's not a fucking reason, Bub. Lock in. I know that you thought the Democrats. Yeah, sure, whatever. I need you to give me a reason that excludes political parties, because I don't give a shit about calling out the Democrats, just like I don't give a shit about calling out the Republicans when it comes to AIPAC. Tell me why you disagree with banning AIPAC politicians that has nothing to do specifically with one political party.
Because I want there to be competition. We're only going to have
there can be plenty of competition between politicians where you're trying to target one specific party, and there's plenty of competition between political people. There's enough politicians to have power. I don't give a shit about the party affiliation. I don't care about Republicans, Democrats, or independents. I'm talking about anyone that takes AIPAC money. Now, give me an argument of why we should not ban any politician that takes or supports AIPAC that is outside of party affiliation.
Yeah. Where would the Democrat politicians like Cory Booker
Why would you say Democrat when I just literally told, listen, you're not good at this.
Because it's majority Democrats.
I don't give a fuck. Listen, you keep trying to think it's not a got you. It's not a got you.
I'm telling you it's not a got you.
Listen. Stop it. You came up here because you thought you had a point, and you don't. Now, if you have an argument in defense of AIPAC, then give that argument. But the argument needs to be separate from the Democrats. I don't care. Listen what I'm saying. I don't care about party affiliation, and banning politicians that take AIPAC money will not dry up the well of possible politicians, because there are plenty of people who are either currently in political power, currently running for office, or currently considering running for office that have not, would not, or do not take AIPAC money. There's 35 million Americans. We can definitely find enough senators and people within the House out of 35 million Americans that don't support AIPAC. So give me an argument that's outside of the political parties.
Yeah, the system's too corrupt from both parties. If we're not going to talk about individual parties, the system's already corrupt where AIPAC's already taken over.
The system is corrupt because of AIPAC and also super PAC. So yes, that's even more of a reason to actually get rid. Wait, so you're saying because the system isn't corrupt, we shouldn't. Wait, hold on. So you're saying because the system is already corrupt, we shouldn't root out the corruption?
No, it's impossible. It's always going to be rooted in it.
I'm not saying what you
it's
think
like
about
saying,
it being
segregation.
possible or not possible.
We're not talking.
We're not talking about the possibilities.
Segregation ended.
I need you to lock the fuck in, Bubba. We're not talking about the possibility.
When you muted me, I took a blinker. I'm locked in.
I need you to actually focus. Focus. We're not talking about the possibility. I want to understand what is the reason you disagree with banning AIPAC politicians. And it's not because you are sitting here saying the system is already corrupt, so we don't need to root out the corruption. What is a good reason for not banning politicians that support AIPAC?
The system will fall apart from everywhere, from cities, from states. Like, even Mandani, like everyone thought no AIPAC, turns out wrong. I mean,
listen, you came up here because you wanted to do your Republican song and dance, and you're not good at this. You don't have a point. How about you try picking another topic on the background? How about that? Just pick another topic because you're not doing well at that one. That's why I got 5.
Remove the white man from power. Like, those are the
Tell
ones
me
who
why
are
you
most
disagree
qualified.
with that.
Because those are the ones who are most qualified. Like,
by what metric?
By results and also education.
What results?
And also results of the country, results of power.
Wait. So you're saying wait. Stop right there. So you're saying that the results of the country is justification for having white men in power. Cool. So do you think that this country is the greatest country on earth?
Of course, absolutely.
Perfect. I'm glad that you said that. Now, outside of naming our military or our GDP, name one thing that the United States of America currently ranks #1 in that's a positive.
Oh, okay. There's so many to choose from. I would say stock market. I would say
no. That's the economy. I said outside of the economy and outside of the military. Name one thing.
Okay. Diversity. I would say we're #1 diversity and culture. Oh my God, we have
wait. So we're the most So you're saying that we're the most diverse country in the world?
Yeah, Ukraine man,
cool.
Brazilian man.
Hold on one second.
Man, African
One second. Now, have you actually verified that, or did you just freestyle that one?
What do you mean? Like,
where did you get that from?
Source?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got it from I forgot, but if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I believe
you're very wrong.
The most diverse.
What
country is it? Canada?
No.
Which one?
So based off of data that finds the most diverse countries in the world, and this is based off of a couple of different factors, not only the breakdown and makeup of the people, but the access to education, the access to language, the access to different food, culture, and experience. #1, Uganda. #2, Liberia. #3, Madagascar. #4, the DR Congo, and #5, the Republic of Congo. Those 5 have the most diverse group of citizens, culture, and actual access to information and knowledge. Literally, when you talk about yes, I'm sitting here giving you the actual information.
They count probably tribes. We in America, we say
they talk about ethnicity. Yes, they talk about ethnicity as well.
Of course, there's going to be.
Do we not have ethnicity in the U.S.?
We don't count it on that.
Do we have ethnicity in the U.S.?
So when you do your census, does it say Jamaican or African?
We have ethnicity in the U.S.? Yes or no?
No, this is a stretch, and you know it.
Yes or no?
No, we do. No, yeah, we do.
Okay, so if we have ethnicity as well, then I don't understand where you're getting at with this. Like, because again,
we're not counting African tribes.
Yeah, we're not only, again, I didn't just say that it was ethnicity was the only point. I said that there's multiple factors, including language.
Africans.
There's multiple factors, including language. There's also factors that include things like culture, lived experience. Even if you take a look at countries,
but you
and you take
African countries.
Wait. Even if you take away the ethnicity portion, if you take away the ethnicity portion, taking a look at the most diverse countries in the world, we're still not number one, because the number one diverse country in the world is fucking, hold on, let me get back here. The number one diverse country in the world, wait, I just saw number one. Sorry, 1 second. Close.
I'll concede to this soon.
Yeah, the number one diverse country in the world is Norway. And by this actual index, number 9, that's where we fall. The United States is number 9.
Okay, we're top 10 at least. We're working on it.
No, I didn't say give me something that's top 10. I didn't say give me something that's top 10. I said give me something that's number 1.
No, we're working on it. We're going for number 1 spot though soon.
Okay, I'll say, so you don't have that. So number 1, what are we number 1 in? That's a healthcare.
Healthcare, yes.
Oh, I don't even have to look that up to tell you you're absolutely right.
No, I know money, whatever. But hear me out. So many people from different countries fly to America to get operations and surgeries because we have the best doctors in America. We have the best healthcares. We have the best hospitals, the best medicine, everything.
Okay, so
I'm so proud to say that.
When you say healthcare, are you referring to the ability to? No. Listen to me. Are you talking about the ability to purchase healthcare, or are you talking about the healthcare for the citizens? Which one?
Straight up quality for the citizens. Straight up quality for people.
So you're wrong.
Healthcare here.
You're wrong. The United States of you're wrong. The United States of America spends. I'm answering your question. The United States of America spends the most money out of any country in the world on healthcare, while also ranking in the middle of the pack as far as quality of healthcare for citizens, because even though we have access to amazing healthcare, it's rooted in capitalism, and if you can't afford it, then you can't get it. So there are more Americans that need access to that amazing healthcare who can't afford it. So no, we're not number 1 in the nation for healthcare for citizens. If you want to talk about the actual money that you can spend on healthcare, well, then that goes back into the economy, and that's not what I'm looking for.
Okay, hear me out. Affordability, cost. Yes, I agree with you. Okay, we'll work on it. I think, like Trump says, be patient, just like the beef prices.
So we're not number 1 in healthcare then?
No, but I'm referring to but quality we are.
You're talking about the actual, you're talking about the ability to spend money to buy top level healthcare, which again goes back to the economy,
quality, everything. I'm talking about
no.
The best medicine. Yes, Canadians come to America for surgery.
No. The United States citizens go to Canada to actually get prescription medication.
Yes, it's medication. But when you under the knife, they come to America, man.
Because of capitalism, because of the it's all about the economy. That's not healthcare.
Who cares if it's capitalism? We got the best quality healthcare, man. Like, you know how much countries you have to pray if they put you to sleep and you wake up and you have no leg?
Hey, right here. Focus. What's your favorite food?
Oh man, you're making me hungry. I'm fasting right now. I'm gonna go with tacos, man.
Tacos. Love tacos. What food would you like? I tried that. I fucking hated it. Would never eat it again.
Oh, Indian food.
Okay. Yeah, you just don't have taste, whatever. All right. So let's say.
Nah, man, I can't do that smell.
1 second. Let's say.
Too much spices.
Yeah, but I mean, white people normally can't do spices. Anyway, so let's say.
I'm not white. Okay.
What are you?
I don't like the labels.
Exactly.
Some people
You're
say
white.
Afro.
You're white. You're white.
Okay.
Sure. So anyway, let's say that you have tacos that's sitting right here in a glass case, and it's a complete lock box, right? You can't get into the lock box, but you can see the tacos. And then you have Indian food that's sitting right here, nothing surrounding it. You have complete access to it, right? And you are now at the point of starvation, meaning that if you don't eat, you die. When you decide to eat the Indian food so you don't die, does that mean that you had access to the best quality food because you have the tacos there that's in the glass box that's locked that you can't open, but you ate the Indian food that was easy to get to? Does that mean that you had access to the best quality food that you wanted?
No.
Okay. So just because there is a healthcare system that is available for those people that can gain access to it does not dictate that there is the best healthcare in the world, because if you can't access it, then it's not beneficial.
Or hear me out. I love your perspective. I love your scenario. How about there's a few people who get a loan for a key for that box? How about there's some people who save up enough money to, just in case of an emergency, have that key for that box? What if, you know what industry is booming right now? What's it called? Pay later, buy now, whatever. So payment plans. What if there's someone who does a payment plan and
that
opens
all
the box?
speaks to a
I'm not shaming those people. All right,
wait,
I'm not shaming them, but let's go.
All of those things speak to the fact that our economy is a capitalistic society that is self-consuming, and it disenfranchises anyone that does. You just literally tried to say buy here, pay here is a good thing.
I think there's payment plans now, yeah.
Those are horrible things because of the additional
afterpay.
Because the additional interest that you have to pay, you pay more. You know what Rent-A-Center is?
Okay, but it's a cost for.
Do you know what Rent-A-Center is?
Rent-A-Center? No.
Rent-A-Center is a place where you can actually rent furniture or rent other household items instead of just buying them outright. It's normally for low-income people that don't have access to the money to go buy a living room set. So they go in and they rent the actual living room set, and they make payments, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly payments on that furniture, and they have access to it. Now, what happens is Rent-A-Center gets to a certain point where if you pay right for the entire thing, then it's yours, right? But at any point, if you miss your payments, then they can come and pick it up and repossess it. Now, the funny thing is if you get something, let's say a living room set that costs $1,000, if you pay for the actual living room set, then it's $1,000, or you can pay $100 every week for 3 years. Well, guess what happens if you pay $100 every week for 3 years?
What?
Okay. Do you really not know?
I mean, I don't want to be rude. I'm a very empathetic person.
Okay. That's fine. I don't want to hear it. So if you pay up
why
front,
you bring up this?
No, that's fine. If you pay up front, it's $1,000. If you pay $100 every week for 3 years, that is $15,600. Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay, but why are they doing that? Rent-A-Center, why are they doing that? Like, we should not shame, but we should educate these people to not do that. That's like saying,
it's
oh my God, look at these
capitalism, bub. If you don't have access,
bro, you can do payment plans with IKEA. Why do you gotta rent a furniture nowadays?
It's the same thing.
You end up owning it though. You end up owning the furniture if you do it in IKEA.
You do with Rent-A-Center as well.
Renting. Why are you renting?
The point that I'm trying to get across, you're not hearing me. Predatory lending is a part of a capitalistic society, and those people that are already disenfranchised tend to lean into those methods that disenfranchise them even more. If you don't have money, if you don't have resources, if you don't have access, then you go to extreme measures in order to be able to make ends meet. And when you do that, then you fall into a situation that further continues the disenfranchisement of you. Buy here, pay here, or that's not a good thing.
Okay, I'll look into that. Okay, fine. I thought that was an option for Americans, especially with just that industry is booming. So I'm looking into investing into that. Just I see lots of Americans doing it with food apps and stuff. So
all of this is absolutely predatory. It's all predatory.
Well, how are Americans supposed to afford? Like, the quality has to pay. Like, we have to pay for that quality. You know what I mean? Like, you're acting like every civilian can just get it. Like they should, but I mean, we have to be realistic here, right? Like, we can't just.
So that's why I go back to the same question that I already had. Name one thing that's not rooted in the economy or the military that the United States of America is number one in.
Okay, fine. I didn't have to pull this one. This one's the big boy. I didn't have to pull this one. Freedom of speech. Freedom. Just straight up freedom, I would say. We have freedom of speech. And
there are other countries.
There's
other countries that have freedom of speech, and there's other countries that have more freedom of speech than the United States. Yes. That's the worst example.
Our neighbor Canada doesn't even have that.
That's the worst. That's the worst example that you can get. It's not even worth me even looking up any of the information.
Because you don't want to unpack that. The trucker convoy I got educated on, like our own neighbors don't even have freedom of speech, man.
Sure. Give me one empirical source that says the United States of America ranks number one as far as freedom of speech.
Give you a source?
Yes, I've been giving you sources. I haven't been reading, like literally I keep pulling up sources when you start naming something that's actually ranked this or whatever. I keep giving you sources that actually tell like, hey, this is where we rank. Like, how did you think that I know where we rank when you start talking about whatever the shit was that you were speaking on? And while you look that source up, I'm going to say thank you to a couple of people. W's in the chat for Dallas for the $3 donation, saying, thank you for keeping people informed and doing what you do. Much love. Much love to you, Dallas. Thank you so much for that. And guys, massive W's in the chat for Lisa. Lisa sent a $40 donation saying, thank you, Santana, for standing with women. Evidence shows when women lead, communities are safer, healthier, more stable, with better outcomes for children. That's not an opinion. That's global data. I appreciate your voice. Lisa, not only do I appreciate you for being here, I appreciate you for the actual love, kindness, and support, the $40 donation. That is incredible. But I appreciate you for verifying the things that we all know. W's in the chat for Lisa, guys. If anyone else likes to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Hey, all right. So did you get that source?
Yeah, I'm about to cook right now.
Okay. Is it from the Freedom House? Oh, Pew. Oh, perfect. All right. Go ahead and give it to me,
baby. Yeah, I know you're gonna get excited on
sure,
that.
Go ahead.
Okay. The title is
I can't hear you while you're out of the app.
Wait. I can't even say that word. Hold on.
What, just FYI, like when you're out of the app, I can't hear you, so you have to remember.
No, I know. Okay. Appendix A, and it's November 18, 2015.
What,
America's
it's called
first. Senegal
Appendix
police.
A?
Yeah.
Appendix A.
Free expression index. And there's a rankings of the top countries they surveyed. Number 1 was America. Number 2, Canada. So I'll take that kind of back.
Okay.
But the last country was Uganda.
Hey, Bub.
Let's go. Let's go.
Bub. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second.
We made it.
We didn't. What year did you say this was?
2015.
What year is
November
it now?
18. 2026. 26.
The data that you're working off of is 11 years old. There's updated data.
Let's pull the updated one up. Let's go.
Yeah, go find the updated one. Guys, keep tapping the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. It's only 1 coin. It'll boost the live. It'll push us out to the FYP. he is on his way to find the updated information. He stated that he had information from 2015. And as you guys know, that we don't do information that is 11 years old. But I do credit him for actually going to find some information. Now, the one thing that I do want to call out is that he said that he was about to cook. And while I am absolutely hungry, I don't think that he is about to cook. Just waiting for you to come back into the app, Bub. We're all waiting on you to swipe back into the app. Don't worry about it. Just come back.
No, I got you. Okay, let me cook.
No. Hold on. No. Just come back. Just come back. Come back. Come back into the app. Come back into the app. Come back into the app.
Yeah, I'm here. I just had to fact check you.
Okay. You had to fact check me. Cool. Hey, what is this? Look at the screen.
Pew Research Center. I love it.
From when?
The big 2025.
What is that?
Free expression seen as important globally, but not everyone thinks their country has speech and internet freedoms. That's sad.
Okay. So this is data that was 10 years later from the one that you originally gave me, right?
Right.
What's the #1 country?
Oh God, Bangladesh.
Where's the US?
Next to a lot of amazing countries for some reason.
Is the US #1?
No, but I can easily explain. You just gotta pull up the title again.
Wait, hold on. You gave me this Pew Research source that was 10 years outdated. The only thing that I did was say we need to look at the current data, and I literally just scrolled down from where you were, and this was the first one, the newest updated data, and the newest updated data that you gave me says that you're wrong. I thought you were cooking.
Because let me cook. Can you go back to the title, please? Let me cook, please. A little bit more down. Great. So 2015, 2025, lots of things happened in those 10 years. 2016 was a great year. Everyone remembers summer 2016. Internet freedoms, great. Internet has expanded, right? Social media, right? So why America isn't #1, let me cook, is because these people who are kind of woke, no offense, just because their little internet is being silenced or they think they can't see information from other countries, that's why they think they're not getting freedom of speech. Or they think they're getting, what's it called? They think they're getting muted on social medias. They think they're getting blacklisted. So they vote against America and say, hey, I don't have internet freedom. What the? Internet freedom? What is that? Like, that's why we're not #1, because of this internet freedom. It's so woke. If we didn't include internet freedom, we will be #1 like always. #1 in everything. It's very sad that internet freedom ruined that. Really, it's really sad.
Okay. Cool. I got a question. Does this source prove that the United States is #1 in freedom of speech? Yes or
no? No.
Okay, perfect. So if it doesn't prove that #1 is the United States is #1 in freedom of speech, did it prove the point that you made?
Yes, because it's
yes or no?
Internet.
No. Yes or no?
Yes.
No. Again, the only way that it can prove your point is if it verifies that it's #1. Everything else that you just said was cope. Like literally, the only thing that you did was you coped. Like everything else that came out of your mouth was cope. The numbers, and no matter how you try to justify it and what you try to say to make it seem reasonable, everything else that fell out of your mouth is cope, because the source that you gave me does not prove your point. The source that you gave me proves my point. It's
okay,
cope.
so let me cook.
It's
not
no.
cope.
It's
I'm not
literally
the cope
cope. So
machine.
this is what you're gonna do. This is what you're gonna do.
You can't really respond?
No. If you want to stand on that point, I'm good with you standing on that point. But if you want to stand on that point, then you're going to have to get a source that actually proves what you're saying. I don't want to hear your theory. I don't want to hear your logic. If you have a source that proves what you're saying, then I'm willing to accept it. But anything else is cope.
So I can respond with common sense real quick.
No.
The Constitution wasn't changed. What changed in 10 years? You think?
No.
We went from number 1 to number 9.
Again, it's cope. Unless you have a source to verify the things that you're saying, it's literally cope. W's in the chat for Jocelyn for the $1 donation saying, if we let them cook, we'll be starving. We would. W's in the chat for Blue Bonnet saying, being a baby boomer, I'm being politically educated in so many areas. I'm even doing my own research. I know that's right. Now to better understand and educate myself. Thank you. W's in the chat for Rust Belt sends a $2 super chat. Say $10 says this guy still lives with his parents. I believe it. W's in the chat for all the donos. If you like to support the if you like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links and link in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat, and I will read that out. Guys, keep tapping the screen, share the live, send your daily heart meet. It's only one. It's only one coin, and will help boost the live and push us out to the FYP. I got something for you guys. Give me a second. Where is that at?
Oh my God, I'm about to cook. Dude,
Hold on one second. Hold on one second.
I'm so excited.
I know you are. Give me a second.
I just can't hide it.
I know. Hold on. Hey, guys, check the poll that we just put up in the corner. Check the poll. All right, what source are you looking at?
Yeah, it's the own source you brought up itself. That article was people who think they have freedom or think what freedom matters, but it's not countries who have the most freedom.
Okay,
you're cooked, buddy. So
first and
what the
foremost,
heck?
hold on.
Why are you tricking us? I actually believe you.
Hold on.
That doesn't determine Bangladesh has the most freedom.
Wait. This was your source. This was not my source.
Your source, the one you brought up, Bangladesh doesn't have the most freedom. You tricked us.
Stop. You gave me this source, but it was from 2015. I said, why would you look at the 2015 data? Why wouldn't you look at the current data? The only thing that I did was take your source and look at the current data. This is literally your source.
That's not true. Because the one I showed is the countries with the most freedom. The one you showed is countries who think freedom matters to them.
Question for you.
You really gonna think Bangladesh is the most freedom country in the world? What?
I'm telling you what I see based off of your source. Also, I'm going to tell you one other thing. The chat has officially put a bounty on you. FYI. There was a poll and they voted 78-8 to put a bounty on you. So I'm letting you know this is how it works.
You didn't
Chat,
let me vote.
Why should I let you vote? It's
to
not about
kind
you.
of give me a chance.
Yeah, no, you still have a chance, right? So this is how it works, right? There's a kick fund and it's $150. And what happens is it's based off of right now, right? So it's not based off of what you've been saying so far. The only thing that you have to do to ensure that you continue to actually debate and engage is be able to substantiate a point and not annoy the chat. That's all you got to do. Super simple. Substantiate a point and not annoy the chat. Now, this is up to the chat. And chat, this is for here moving forward. You guys know how we do it.
Too woke.
I just
They're
said
not
don't.
fair.
I just told you don't annoy the chat. Like you're lit.
okay,
I'm
maybe.
telling you, literally, that's going to get you kicked. It's literally their option. I'm telling you, if you do that, they're going to get you out of here. Chat.
That tax
You guys
refund
know
did
how
not
we do.
hit yet. Let's go.
You know how we do. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Sorry, YouTube. We don't do the kick funds through YouTube. It's only through the pay links. If you want him gone, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Santana speaks for you. All right.
You should stream on Kick, by the way. There's a whole audience there like me who are looking for people like you. So
they will get fried.
Kick. No, but there's lots of young viewers who consume Aiden Ross and Nelk and Joe Rogan who it would be nice to have a Democrat streamer there. You should stream on Kick. I'm being serious.
I might actually do it. All right. Do you have an actual source that proves your point? Because like you haven't given me anything that proves your point to this point.
Yeah, I just said it that we're really gonna think that Bangladesh is the most country with the most freedom. Like
that's not something that proves your point. Something that proves your point would be a source that says the United States of America is the #1 ranked country for freedom of speech.
I brought a source and it was from 2015, and then
why wouldn't we accept? Why? Okay, question for you.
Because
how old were you in 2000? How old were you in 2015?
I was 15.
Okay. Do you think that you were 15? Okay. Do you still wear the same clothes that you wore in 2015?
I probably own a few boxers still. Not gonna lie. I'll be honest here. Be vulnerable.
Okay, but you don't typically wear the same clothes from 2015 today.
No, I
okay, perfect.
Got muscles and I got really
in 2015 were you paying the same amount for your rent as you pay today?
Yeah, let me call my dad real quick.
No. You weren't paying rent in 2015. Is that what you're saying?
No, that was until next year when I was 16 and I got a job at Zaxby's.
Okay, were you paying the same amount?
No. My dad gave me a discount.
Okay. So if I'm sitting here pointing out like the multiple things that in 2015 are way different than they are today, why would I accept a source from 2015 and base that on today? What sense does that make?
This is so easy because when you compare the economy, whatever you just did, inflation, the dollar, cost of living, but then with freedom, nothing was changed with the Constitution. Nothing was changed with any freedom rights. Nothing. So for like what
wait,
USA go from number 1 to number 9 or 20? Like,
one second. Are you saying that everyone has the same rights and freedoms that they had 10 years ago?
Absolutely. Even more.
Cool.
Even more.
Cool. I'm so happy that you said that.
Shout out DEI.
I'm so happy that you said that. Hey, in 2015, did women have access to abortions?
What year?
2015. If you
I
lived
think
in
certain
Texas,
states-
if you
it's
lived
certain
in
states, right?
Texas, if you lived in Texas in 2015, could you get an abortion?
Texas. No, probably not.
Yes, you could.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, yeah. Today
Let's
in
go.
Texas, today in Texas, 2026, can you get an abortion?
Probably not.
No. That sounds like it's less
Nice.
freedoms.
No,
It sounds like
it's just the state.
No.
The state
It
decided
sounds
their rules.
No. The states didn't decide. No. The states didn't decide a rule. It's literally less protections than there were 10 years ago.
Or hear me out. Give me
Less
5
freedoms.
seconds.
Women are less free
Hear me
than
out.
they were 10 years ago. Go ahead. Try it.
Okay, yeah, without interruption. Okay, this is the beautiful part of our country, and lots of Americans don't understand this. I recommend a road trip this summer to my Americans here. Okay, this happens to women in Texas. The beautiful part of our country, you can move to a state where they'll allow it. That's the beautiful part of our country. You don't need a visa. You don't need a passport. No. Get your things, get your belongings, and move to my state, North Carolina. Let's go. I'll accept you. Come to Charlotte.
North Carolina. Wait. North Carolina.
Let's go.
Wait. North Carolina has a 6-week heartbeat bill. Do you know what that is?
No, that sounds very...
That means that unless you get an abortion within 6 weeks, you can't get an abortion afterwards. The only reason I know that is because I'm from South Carolina and they have one as well. So no, you're literally wrong. You're literally wrong. And also, no. Hold on. One question for you.
No, hear me out.
No.
Abortion is not a birth control method. That's actually a good thing. We're protecting women. 6 months. That's 6 weeks, right?
I don't want to hear your opinion on abortion. I don't want to hear your opinion.
I'm a Catholic.
I don't care. I don't want to hear your opinion on abortion. That's not what I'm looking for. I do have a question though. I do have a question. Do you know what percentage of people what percentage of people actually leave the state that they were born in? What percentage of people move out of state?
I would say, I would say 43%.
43%.
Job opportunity. Yeah. The weather, job opportunities, fresh restart for some people.
Okay, 43%. Okay.
Yeah.
1 second here. So
it's not that hard. Get a U-Haul.
Sure. So the study that was completed by census.gov and in conjunction with Pew Research shows that 60 to 68% of Americans never move out of the city that they were born in. 60 to 68% of Americans never move out of the city, not the state, the city that they were born in, while adults normally live anywhere from 8 to 10 miles. They live within 10 miles of where they were. They lived when they were between the ages of 6 to 10. And there's another subsection of adults that live within 100 miles of where they lived when they were 8 to 10. So the point being is that you sitting here saying that, they can just actually go anywhere in the country. 60 to 68% of Americans never move out of the city that they were born in. Now,
this helps my argument.
Okay, wait. I do want to hear your argument. But I would like for you to make this argument instead. You said you're Catholic, right?
Yes, sir.
And you said you don't believe in abortion, right?
No, I never said that.
Well, you said that's a good thing not to have abortion, but give me
this is what we'll do. The 6-week rule one.
Okay, 6 weeks. Cool. Give me your best. I mean, like, I want you to lock in for me, okay? I want you to lock in. I want you to give me your best argument of why people should take your position and your stance on abortion. What makes your position, your stance on abortion, one that is valuable enough for the people that's listening to actually take your position?
Yeah, I'll quickly say
nobody gives a fuck. Not one person. Not one person actually gives a fuck. Not a single one. W's in the chat for all the donos. W's in the chat for all the people that paid the kick, got them up out the paint. W's in the chat for all the people that paid the kick, got them up out the paint. That was brutal. That was brutal. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates, guys. I'm gonna say the thank yous here in just a moment, but let's see if we can get someone else up for a debate. Let's see here. Hi, Ray. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
Yes.
Yes, Trump supporter or disagree?
Yes.
Okay.
I agree.
Perfect.
You're the biggest ever, man. You had a good debate there, and then you kick him. How does that make any sense? Now you're gonna be crying for another debate for the next hour and a half.
Well, that was
chat. Oh, there's a good debate going on. You have your chat going, kick. Like, you're a bum. You even have a job, bro? You're on here every day begging, online panhandling. How's that? Kick. Look at you. Keep eating your peanuts. You're not cute.
It's
You're
jerky.
not cute.
It's
Yeah,
jerky.
Good for you. Yeah. Fucking
Sure.
eating on camera.
I know.
You got a
Hey,
job,
chat.
bro? Hey, you
Give
got
me a second,
job?
Ray. Hold on, Ray. You gotta give me a second. Hey, chat. Check the poll. There's a poll up in the corner. Hey,
Yeah,
why did you come up here to
$150
cry?
Look at you, grift, man. Your fucking followers are so stupid. No
Why
wonder
did you
do
come
this
up here
shit
to
every
cry?
day. I'm not crying.
You're
I'm just
literally
fucking
crying.
calling it how it is.
But you came up here. You came up here and did a whole
You're a
crash in.
bitch.
I know.
You're a bitch.
Listen, you
get a
came up
good
here and
debate,
did a
you
whole
kick
crash
them.
in. Hey,
You get a good debate, then you wanna kick.
Hey, stop crying. That's
get a
that.
good debate.
Listen, stop crying. You're being a fragile man right now. Shh. It's okay, bub. I'm willing to. Shh. I'm willing to talk to you. I'm willing to hear you and your feelings. I just need you to stop for a second so I can speak. All right. So the thing is that you came up here and did what? Look, we just had to remove him. He literally crashed in. Like, he fucking crashed in. He got a violation. He got a violation and immediately had to be kicked. That was a fucking crash in. What are they doing? That was crazy. He crashed all the way in. Yeah, he got a bullying and harassment. Yeah, he did. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background? Laura, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background? Okay, can drop you down. Hi, Star, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
No, I'm not a Trump supporter, but I do disagree with something in the background.
Okay, hold on one
Before we get
second.
into
Hold on
that,
a second.
though,
Give me a second. Hey, Ray Lee Charles, I'm gonna mute you, right? Boom. But hang around. All you got to do is wait like 8 minutes and then you can come back up. But you can't crash out while you're up here. Like, literally, it was the algorithm because you were a emotional man-child. So go get some milk and then come back in 8 minutes. All right. You said you disagree with what on the background?
So hold on. first off, I want to tell you that I really appreciate what you do, and I found you through Dean. Dean is I've been watching him for months now, and you and him and Parker have like really educated me in a lot of things. So I do really appreciate you for doing that.
Absolutely, thank you.
And by the way, I wasn't following you before today, but I am now. So just wanted to let you know that.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you.
So hey, I disagree with the take white men out of the power, and I was listening to your argument about it earlier. I just want to kind of understand more of your viewpoint on that.
Okay. Can you give me like 2 seconds to say thank you to some people, and then we can get into it?
Absolutely. Go right ahead.
All right, guys. For the people that added to the Kick Fund, W's in the chat for Joshua, who added $20 to the Kick Fund. W's in the chat for Jenny, who added $10 to the Kick Fund. W's in the chat for Valerie, who added $15 to the Kick Fund. W's in the chat for holy shit, Michelle. Michelle added $50 to the Kick Fund. Said he is not equipped for this debate. He was not. W's in the chat for Nessa, who added $40 to the Kick Fund. Said I cannot handle this guest skills. No wonder he's MAGA. His brain is smaller due to his skull being so thick. Also, much love, Santana, to you and your community. Nothing like an actual adult trying to teach common sense to adults. Mind blowing. Absolutely. W's in the chat for Nessa. Thank you so much. W's in the chat for Clarie for the $5 towards the Kick Fund. W's in the chat for Candace for the $2 towards the Kick Fund. W's in the chat for Franklin for the $5 for the Kick Fund. W's in the chat for wait. Elizabeth. Elizabeth added $35 and said Kick Fund for the clueless. I know that's right. Holy shit, Phil, I didn't see this. Phil sent $50 for the Kick Fund. And Clara sent $5, said my first donation ever on TikTok. Thank you, Claire. Holy shit. W's in the chat for all the donos, guys. You are fucking amazing. I love you guys so much. So much. W's in the chat, not Phil, Philip.
Together we are TikTok.
Fucking W's in the chat for Philip. Holy shit. Fucking King Philip. Holy fucking shit. W's in the chat for Philip. The fucking second TikTok universe. That is crazy. Holy shit. W's in the chat for Philip. That is insane. Guys, I want to see 1 million. That is fucking insane. That is fucking insane. W's in the chat for Philip for the fucking cheetah. Holy smokes. W's in the chat for Philip, guys. Keep it moving.
Together we are TikTok.
Okay, now I'm actually sweating. Like, no lie, I'm actually sweating. Holy fuck, that's crazy. Philip, thank you so much. Honestly, like, you're way too kind. I appreciate the hell out of you.
Together we are TikTok.
This dude's killing it right now.
Holy crap. I genuinely mean this, Philip, and thank you. You don't have to do that. You don't, Philip, you don't have to do that. That is way too much kindness. Holy shit. I genuinely, I don't deserve that amount of kindness. Like, seriously, holy shit. Thank you. Sincerely. I really appreciate you. I'm actually lost for words, which is not ever something that I'm supposed to be. Like, I'm Thank you. Seriously, holy crap. That is crazy. Thank you, Philip. Guys, 1 million W's in the chat for Philip. That is insane. Insane. W's in the chat for Philip. Holy fuck. Thank you. Also, I'm sorry. Nisa. W's in the chat for Nisa. I didn't mean to mess up Nisa's name earlier. I am so sorry, Nisa. W's in the chat for Nisa. W's in the chat for Philip. W's in the chat for the chat. You guys are fucking amazing. I promise you that when I say I genuinely don't know what I've ever done to deserve the fact that you guys give me this platform. Like I have no idea what I could have possibly done that makes anyone wants to like show up, listen, or support me in any way. Like I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense. But I just appreciate the shit out of all of you, sincerely. Each and every one of you. I'm blown away every single day, every single moment. I tell my wife, I tell my family every single day, like, I can't believe this is my life. It's insane. And it's literally because of you guys. Like, it's literally because of all of you. Thank you. I truly, truly, truly mean that. I am hot. Like, literally, I'm like physically hot now. I'm like sweating. All right. I'm sorry. We're going to try to get back to the debates. You were saying you wanted to add something to the point. I apologize. I'm sorry, Star. I didn't mean to cut you off or take away from what we were doing. I'm so sorry about that.
Nah, man. Like the chat's saying, you deserve every bit of it. Like I said,
I don't know about that. I couldn't agree with that one. They're just too kind.
Well, so basically, like I said, I'm a big supporter of like the diversity altogether in our government. And I think that if we go to the other extreme and try to withhold any race or gender or any sort of thing, I think that's counterintuitive to the point that we want to include equity and diversity into our government.
Yeah, I mean, I understand where you're coming from. I'm sorry, I'm trying to recenter myself. I understand where you're coming from in the sense of like trying to ensure that there is like proper representation and equity, in which even like from the conversation earlier, I wasn't saying that there's no need for like white men in power. I think for more than anything, it's the fact that the overrepresentation that white men have had throughout the history of our society has negatively impacted people. And when we talk about where we are today, I'm not advocating for a permanent removal of power, but I'm advocating for that in the sense of we can talk about the current conflict of the war, but we can also talk about the existential crisis that we're currently heading towards. Have you heard me talk about that crisis, that cliff that we're getting ready to go off of?
Like I said, I mostly listen to Dean's lives. I apologize. Like, you and Parker are great, but I mostly see y'all through his, like, being on his lives. I'm going to change that. I'm going to be listening to yours a lot more now, as well as Dean, you know, but
no, like,
I think you have a lot of great points.
Yeah, no, listen, I advocate for people to engage in places and spaces all across the app. I mean, there's a lot of different great perspectives, even with people on the left. You have people that would consider themselves to be like Democrats, which are like center. You have people that go all the way to the spectrum of being communists, and those perspectives are so like different, but they lie and rooted in like being on the side of history that benefits people. So I advocate for that. But what I would say is we are currently on path for an existential crisis. You know, the average lifespan of a nation?
Isn't it? I think I've heard somewhere around like 500 years. Is that incorrect?
250 years.
Okay.
What year are we entering into our country this year?
Wouldn't this be the 250th?
Yep. did you know that also the United States of America is on path, meaning doing exactly the exact same things as far as economics, as far as becoming isolationist, but as far as engaging in global conflicts. They're doing the exact same things that the last 5 countries that had the their currency as the centralized currency for the world. And we're doing the exact same things that caused the last 5 superpowers to collapse.
But isn't that just because of Trump? Isn't that I don't recall the Biden-Harris administration providing much into that. Like, I don't think they were very isolationist compared to the current administration.
It's not just about the current administration. It's about the totality of the country, the trajectory and how it's happening. Even though Donald Trump is absolutely a symptom of where we are as a country, he is not the actual reason, right? I like to tell people that the country isn't like this because Donald Trump was elected. Donald Trump was elected because the country is like this, right? And so that's why when I talk about like men, right, white men, I understand that there are like some white men that are amazing and that are great leaders that would do things to benefit people. But the totality of the white men that have had power and the way they've disenfranchised others leads me to this conclusion. There has to be some type of stark change for us right here, right now, that would shift us away from going off of that existential cliff. And thank you for the corgi, and like having us continue to be where we are, and whether it's like a new rotation, thank you, Rainey, a new rotation of white men that would still lead us to where we're currently heading because they've had that power over a 250-year history. I talk about the fact that over 250 years, 90% of our Congress, W's in the chat for Rainey, for the 6 corgis, for the 6 corgis, all of the, I'm sorry, you guys got to stop with the gifts, seriously. And I see the donations as well. You guys got to stop because you're throwing me off. Stop with the gifts, stop with the donations. Like, I'm not going to be able to focus. Like, I'm fucking sitting here blushing and I'm flushed. Stop it. Cut it out. Lock in, chat.
So,
hold on. I'm sorry. I was making a point. I apologize.
You're good.
I literally I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep it together. I appreciate you guys. Okay, I'm gonna lock in. W's in the chat. W's in the chat for all fucking gifters. You guys are crazy. In order to stop us from going, I'm gonna look right down the camera. In order for us to get away from the path that we're heading on, we have to do something that's different than what we've done before. I'm sorry, I don't have it.
It's all good, man. Like I said earlier, you deserve it. So, but to use your analogy that of the cliff, the proverbial cliff that you're using,
yeah.
If say you're driving and you're about to go off this cliff, and wouldn't overcorrecting be a worse scenario? And then you run into the other side of the traffic, and you're in the same kind of situation. I feel like there's other options that, and I agree. I think that it has been significantly oversaturated with white men in politics, and that does need to change. But I think going so far to the other extreme would cause it to overcorrect, and like in my version of that analogy, to the other extreme, and it would cause more issues than it would solve.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I would agree with you if there were overcorrection in the sense of I was like, remove all white people, or if I was saying like remove all men. I do think that there is like some possibility of quote unquote overcorrection if you say like, oh, it's permanent. But I think that looking at the people that have had power and the people that have been able to maintain power and how that actually works, if we target specifically the inflection point that has been able to disenfranchise so many people and remove that on a temporary basis, right? I'm not advocating for permanent removal, but just a temporary basis, then that allows a more natural course correction than, to your point, that complete veering to the other side.
Okay. Well, that's kind of, like I said, I was listening earlier, and that's where my misunderstanding came into place, and kind of my feelings on the matter. When the last election, I really hate to say this out loud because it was not, going back, I would have changed it, but I didn't vote for Trump. I didn't vote for Kamala. I voted for RFK.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Yep, you're right. I apologize. I need to fix that.
I'll
voted
tell
for
you
RFK,
this,
and I regret it a little bit.
I'll tell you this: don't regret it, right? Like that serves no purpose. That serves no value, right? And that's why even when people come up and they say, "Well, let me tell you why I voted for Trump," like there's no purpose as far as relitigating like what happened in 2024. The only thing that we can do and focus on is like where we are here today, now, and then how do we move forward? One of my favorite saying is "Be where your feet are," and our feet are now here in 2026. Our feet are no longer in 2024. And while you may have made a decision to vote for RFK, then you see where we are, and now the obligation is on you, right? The onus is on you to actually do better, be better, and advocate. You have to use your voice to influence those other people that had the same type of mindset as you at that time. And you have to course correct. Like, we need you and people like you helping us fight. So don't just feel bad, do something.
Absolutely. I agree. One more thing before I gotta go. I don't have a whole lot of time on my hands, but it kind of goes in line with the white men in power thing. I really do like James Tallarico's views, and I know he's not in like a presidential race or anything, but like if he were to run, I would probably still be in line with him, even though I think Jasmine Crockett was also a great choice. I think it is just like they both were amazing choices, and I feel like James Tallarico's ideals just align more with kind of how I feel, and I feel like he has a great way of getting his points out there. Do you disagree with that? Do you think that because of his race and his gender, he shouldn't be a leader in our government?
Are you talking about as far as the debate topic or in general?
In the terms of the debate topic, like
in the
I don't know.
In the terms of the debate topic, yes, there's no exceptions. Like, no matter my personal feelings towards anyone, as far as the like overall debate topic, I stand where I stand. Now, as far as like his ability to lead, and like I'm hoping that he wins the Senate seat in Texas. I think that if I had the ability to vote in Texas, I would have been voting for Jasmine Crockett because she was way more qualified than James Tallarico. I think that speaks to a deeper issue with our country, right? I mean, I understand that people have personal preferences. That's fine. But when you talk about misogynoir, right, and the different intersects that affect people, and the fact that Jasmine Crockett was not only more qualified, but had the credentials and the ability to be successful, but yet she lost to someone who doesn't have the overarching experience. When you put those things on the scale and you add them up against each other, the factors of like James Tallarico being a Christian white man, a cishet white man in America, absolutely benefited him against a Black woman in America. So like there's a lot to that, but as far as him, like the overarching point of him being able to be a leader, yeah, I think that he can. I don't think that he is going to provide anything that's substantially different than any other cis white het man that we've seen in power. Like, I like him just as much as I like Joe Ossoff, and I like Joe Ossoff. So there's that. Not Joe, John.
Well, that was
John.
that was a really great point, Santana, and I I can see more of your side of things, and I agree with that. And like I said, to like everyone in the chat, I appreciate y'all as well for seeing and like leading me in the right way. And trust me, I'm fully on board with this side of things, and I'm continuing to learn. Yeah. But
the biggest
I'm
thing,
going to
like
learn
I said,
from the
is
sidelines.
Yeah, well, the biggest thing, like I said, is it's not about feeling bad about what you did. I mean, like you voted for who you voted for. Like it's your actual right as an American citizen to be able to vote, cast your vote for whoever you want to vote for. And like feeling bad is not going to do anything to benefit you. It's just like you got to do something that's beneficial for everyone now, and that's all you should focus on. Anyway, thank you for coming up. I appreciate you. And again, I'm sorry about not giving you the best of me. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still just like completely off, but I appreciate you way more.
No, man, you're great. Thank you for having me up, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. You as well. Sorry about that, chat. I am off kilter. I appreciate the hell out of everyone, sincerely. And I'm gonna read these, even though you guys know how I feel. W's in chat for Marie for the $5 donation, who said, accept your goddamn flowers, Santana. Here, accept them. Okay, Marie, thank you. W's in chat for Gucci for the $5 donation.
Together we are TikTok.
W's in the chat for Philip for that, what, 5th, 6th TikTok universe? What the fuck is happening? That's crazy. W's in the chat for Gucci for the $5 donation, saying, now you and I both know you deserve all the love. You get him more. Gucci, thank you for the 5. Seriously, guys, I like, stop. Yes, I'm trying. I love my wife so fucking much. She said, breathe and relax. I'm trying. W's in the chat for Jared for the one, say, accept your flowers and praise, man. I appreciate the people's champion. Thank you, Jared. W's in the chat for Basketball G for the $1.99. No, blush more. W's in the chat for Jenny Nola for the $20 super chat. Say, I love you too much. I won't stop doing it. Thank you, Jenny Nola. I appreciate you guys. Seriously, I mean this, and okay. I'm good. Thank you so much for the galaxy. I truly do this every day because I really care about the state of our country. I really care about the state of our community. I really care about people, right? I talk about all the time how it's important to try to be a good person. And I know for a fact that, like, I'm not the best. I'm not the best person in the world. Hell, I'm not my best every single day, but I really try. And I think it's important to try to be a good person, take care of everyone else, and make sure that we as a whole have the ability to live a happy and healthy and safe life. And so me coming on here day in, day out, that's what it's about. It's about like advocating for things that I think is right, trying to dispel like harmful rhetoric, harmful notions, trying to use my voice for like the people that don't get a chance to use their voice. That's super important for me. And even if no one showed up, I would still do this. I say this all the time. It's funny. Like yesterday, I was before I went live, I was on Twitch talking to Twitch, and I was like, they got to see me before I hit live on TikTok, and I get nervous because every single time before I go live, thank you, I always have the same question. I'm like, I wonder if anybody's gonna watch. Every single time I hit go live, it's the last thought that I have, and it's like, I wonder if anyone's gonna watch, because I never expect anyone to show up, like no one. And it makes me so proud that every single day, for some reason, you guys keep coming back. Like, I don't understand it. And for me to be so blessed to not only be able to speak, advocate, and do some, I would be, hold on. Okay, give me 2 seconds. All right.
My man.
I was told that you came up because you wanted to debate. Did you? So was this the plan for you to beat me into submission and then come up and dog walk me? Because I have nothing now. Like, I got nothing.
I just had to. I needed to soften you up a bit because I know how you debate these people. But there's a few points of contention, just a few.
Okay.
Nothing racist. Just a few points of contention.
Okay. What do you got?
So I'm gonna keep it quick because it's about. I'm looking at 2 o'clock in the morning over here. So you're talking to a Black expat who's been over here for about 23 years, let's say. Okay. And one of the points I'm trying to wrap my head around is you've got remove U.S. global presence and cut the military budget. And that point, either I've missed what your, I guess, thesis is on that and what that looks like, because my fear, quite frankly, is that that's going to create a void which opens up for either China, either Russia, or either Iran. So where I am physically is I'm either literally about 75 kilometers from Iran, and they've got drones coming into Dubai nonstop, or I'm in Southeast Asia, which depends on the Strait of Hormuz. So we've got to have that strait open. 90% of global freight, or 90% of global shipping goes through naval straits. You need a strong naval presence there. So what does that look like for you if we've got 3 things happening at one time? One, get the white men out. I'm okay with that. 2, you've got cutting a military budget, and 3, it's removing U.S. presence. What does presence mean? In that sort of capacity, using, if you want to go anecdotally, use Iran as sort of the talking point there, I guess.
Yeah. Well, so I'll give you a little bit of inside baseball. It's meant to be a little misleading, a little bit open-ended to get people engaged. The premise of what I'm saying, and the heart of what I'm saying, is removing the U.S. military presence as an overwhelming force, right? So it's not in the sense of completely withdrawing the U.S. military and only having it in the U.S. It's understanding the need for us not to be the most dominant force in every area. I believe in supporting our allies. I believe in having the ability to respond. But I don't think that we need to be in every single country the most dominant force as possible, because anywhere in the world, we have 750 to 800 military bases, and that necessitates multiple things, right? Which includes the $1 trillion military budget that they're pushing for, 1.5 trillion. it also necessitates what just happened. I posted a video on my page where there was a law that just was signed into law where now they're enrolling anyone from 18 to 25 into selective services. And then this morning they just announced that they increased the cap for enlistment for the military from 32 to 42. So it's increasing the need for not only the additional funds, but the additional people and manpower, and it's perpetuating the military industrial complex where you see, like on a global stage, the fact that the United States of America continues to boast of their military, everyone else does so in response. So the entire base of what I'm saying is not that we need to no longer have any presence. We still want to support our allies to whatever means are necessary. We still want to have the ability to respond anywhere in the world as quickly as possible, but we just don't need to be the biggest force in every single area.
I got that. I think, is it fair to say that you're coming at this from a more military-based or defense-based okay.
That's exactly it. Not offensive, defensive.
Okay. You know, where I've been sort of, I guess you could say, thrown off is, you know, the facts are you've got about 9 million, you know, let's say on the upper bound, you've got about 9 million United States expats living abroad. 13 to 14% of those are Black, which, hey, you know, for me, how do I put it? You know when you care about everyone, but you just care about one group more than the other.
I get it.
I care about my people.
I say all the time, I want to see everyone Black win. Like literally, like I want to see everybody else do well, but I want to see every Black person win. So I completely understand what you're saying. Yes.
So, you know, in terms, the way this looks is you've got, you've got China right now has more embassies in Africa, East Asia, Pacific Islands, Central Asia, Europe, South Asia, Middle East, South America. They have done very quietly since pretty much God knows when, an extremely good job of diplomatic efforts abroad, meaning from where you're located. They've done very, you know, what I would call
soft power.
Yes,
but
soft power.
Look, but that's where I'm going as well. Like, while I am advocating for a removal of like that overwhelming force, we have to get back like U.S. aid, right? USID. The fact that the Trump administration / USID, which gave us that soft power influence so we could have a foothold in other countries without having to use the military, I think that's more important as well, to be able to say, like, we have the ability to, you know, influence other countries, but do it without like a military force. So I believe in soft power as well.
So I guess the last 2 points here would be, one of the questions a lot of people didn't understand is, why is Iran putting so many drones and all of these things into the UAE instead of Israel? And the reason, quite frankly, is because the types of kamikaze drones that they were using go a very short distance, a very quick amount of time. Basically meaning, you know, you're 75 kilometers. I don't know what that translates to in terms of miles, but 75 km is just, you know, you're talking, I guess you'd have to look into a converter, but.
Yeah, I'm checking it right now. 75 kilometers to miles. That's, holy smokes, about 47 miles. That's super close.
So, yeah. So where I'm physically located, you know, we're very, very, very close to Iran.
That's really close.
Yeah. So the idea is, you've got one country in Israel that wants to wipe the other one off the face of the planet. You've got the other one who wants to wipe the other one off the face of the planet. And you know that GIF with 50 Cent where he's like, "What'd you say F me for?"
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
well,
yeah, 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 yeah. I know what you're talking about.
That's what we are saying in the UAE, where it's like, what did we do?
Yeah.
And the reason is because the UAE has tied itself up so much with the US. And what Iran has said is in the Strait of Hormuz is, okay, you can pass, but only if you pay us in yuan. So we're no longer going to take the dollar. The AED, which is the base currency of the UAE, is based on a peg to the dollar. It's 3.675 to 1, meaning $1 US is 3.675 AED, always. So what happens here is for me, this is not a right or wrong issue. It's a logistics issue. What I think I would like to see, I would love it if I could snap my fingers and achieve the same goals that you have there. Meaning, I don't want the United States touching anything. I just logistically don't see how that happens in a way that does not destabilize the entire Middle East, that does not put China in a position of now going from soft power to hard power. And quite frankly, to be honest with you, look, man, I've not been back to the United States living since I was like 19. To be honest with you, nobody talks about the States as a place of a dream anymore. Nobody. When you talk about, the American dream, that died a long time ago, my friend. In terms of we would like to go there and study and live a great life. I mean, people are doing this in Asia now, in the Middle East, in Africa, in Europe. I mean, it's other places.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, and so what I would say, because I think that when you talk about the United States of America, like it's an imperial nation, right? It's a nation that has destabilized multiple countries, especially throughout the global South, with regime changes, whether it's covert operations through like the CIA, whether it's blatant operations with like the United States military. And I think the way that we actually do this without, creating that power vacuum and that void is by allowing those countries to self-govern, right? Not just saying like, oh, we're going to let them self-govern, but we have to fully support those countries that have been overwhelmingly harmed by what we've done in the US. And if we're going to say that we're allies, then we have to be true allies and not just like, big brother that gets to say, well, we'll only do this if you're going to give us minerals or if you're going to give us your resources or whatever. Like, I understand the fact that, on a global stage, there's a need to be able to take care of your citizens and, be able to negotiate resources or whatever the case may be. But the US, while also being like the biggest consumer in the world, we're the biggest consumer in the world while like not even taking care of our people. So the big point that I'm getting to is like, we need to stop destabilizing other countries. We need to actually support the people that we say that are our allies. We need to invest in soft power and we need to invest in our people. All of those things would, in my perspective, bring down the global tensions and allow other countries to become more stable while continuing to grow in the right path. Like we gotta, the United States has been on the wrong side of history in so many instances. And like, even today, we are on the wrong side of history in, places like Gaza. We're on the wrong side of history as far as the wishy-washiness of what we've done with, Ukraine. We are on the wrong side of history when we talk about like what's happening in the Congo or Eritrea, like all these places where we've invested so many negative aspects and help destabilize those countries while stripping them of their natural resources. Like, we have to stop taking from it. We take from everyone else and still don't give anything to the people. So like, we got to stop.
Yeah. Last question. How would you, because there's two ways of doing this. One, you said give it about 35 to 40 years, and you believe that, let's just assume someone got cut very deeply, and you have to just handle it immediately. We're talking emergency room situation.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just assume, do you believe the United States is in an ER type of situation right now?
Yeah, honestly, yes, it is. And I've never really, I don't like to be gloom and doom, but I think of like where we are, and I look back at history and I look at current events. I've never really talked about like how bad I think things are, but yes.
So given that, the last sort of where I would kind of phrase this is, and then I'll hop off because I know you have excellent guests that come on
No,
for
I
you to
appreciate
fry.
you coming up.
Absolutely, you fry them. And yes, I did spam you to get your attention. If you look on all the delivery applications, so you know how in the States there's DoorDash, Uber, all of these types of applications.
Mm-hmm.
In the Middle East, you have these other applications, Grab, Kareem, Urban Company. And instead of, you know how when you check out,
mm-hmm.
there's a tip. Well, the tips in the Middle East, they say donate to Gaza, donate to Palestine.
Mm-hmm.
They're very, this is not controversial.
Mm-hmm.
How would you right now, being a United States citizen, how would you see a cutting ties with Israel work in a way that did not destabilize Bibi? Because I believe that he's frankly past the point of worrying about politics, and it's more of an addiction to power. He's old. He will die soon. And when people die and when people get old, all they care about is power. It's a power play. We don't know who comes after him. And so how does that look to you? I'm going to hop off. I'm going to let you answer it. And the last thing I'll say is keep doing your thing. You're doing an amazing job. I appreciate you. And thank you for letting me up, my man.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you. And thank you for the question. And thank you for being more kind and amazing than I deserve, and like being willing to have this conversation and giving me something different and good to talk about. So I appreciate you.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers. To answer the question directly, like for me, it's not necessarily about Bibi Netanyahu when it comes to like Israel, and when it comes to like the ties. The worry and issues that I have is the overall connection of Israel within like the United States. The fact that Israel is so integrated within our political system that it's a back and forth slush fund, right? And so I understand the power that Bibi Netanyahu wields because he's, the figurehead and the person controlling the power. But the fact that so many of our members of Congress are directly paid, indirectly and directly paid by Israel to vote and support the government of of Israel, right? And so that's the issue. It's becoming a situation, and I say this all the time, when it comes to like the US and Israel, I don't know who the dog is and I don't know who the tail is, because there's so many people who's like, oh, Israel is making the US do this. But then there's other people like, oh, the US is telling Israel to do that. I don't know where the line of demarcation is anymore, because the government, the state of Israel, puts money in the politicians' pockets. The politicians then vote for legislation to put money into Israel, and it's just a back and forth. And that's the problem that I have. And so I think that cutting that tie completely is the not only necessary thing to do to reestablish clear lines, but also it takes the actual the aggression away from Israel. I do think that Israel is willing to actually do the things that they do, including, attacking 9 different countries within the last year and a half, because they know they have the backing of the United States of America, right? So like, if you cut that tie, you cut that support, then you see less aggression. You can talk about like what conflict we're in right now. The only reason that we're in this conflict today, right now, is because Bibi Netanyahu took the same thing to Joe Biden, and Joe Biden said no. But then he brought the same thing to Donald Trump, and Donald Trump said yes. So like there's a disconnect as far as like the individuals that were keeping him and Israel as a whole in line. But I think the only way that we can actually address that and do something that's more beneficial for the American people is by cutting those ties. A lot of people talk about like, oh, I'm America first, da 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 da. Like I truly mean it when I say that I care about the American people and I want the American people to do well. And in order for the American people to do well, then we have to take these things that we're giving other countries in the sense of like not support, right? Because I don't want to see the US stop supporting our allies. I want to see the US stop funding wars in other countries. There's a clear difference. I don't want the US to stop being able to help protect and defend people. I want the US to stop creating, engaging, and perpetuating harm and conflict. Those are the things. And yes, I see what you're saying, Noah. I see what you're saying, Noah. I get it. I get it. I get it. You can't have all of it at once. So I don't disagree as far as the end point, but I do understand how we get there. We can agree on the end point, but I think there's an understanding as far as like how you get there. I'm a realist in the sense of like how you actually take those steps to get to the point. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm advocating for that to be the end point. I'm saying that I'm advocating for getting there so we can get to the end point. So, anywho, that's where we are. That's where we are. A couple of additional thank yous. W's in the chat for Sarah for the $10 donation saying, you just have a way. Thank you so much for that $10 donation, Sarah. Thank you so much. W's in the chat for Mike for the $3 donation saying, you're really out here making a difference with the way that you move. So that's why we love you, bro. Keep it up. Mike, I appreciate the hell out of you. Thank you. Thank you, Amber. W's in the chat for Amber. And W's in the chat for Jared for the one who said, you're challenging the world and changing the world and changing people. We all know how you do in return. I appreciate you. Follow up with a $1 donation. I'm crying with you. Full honesty and trigger warning. I was close to giving up. Holy smokes. Jared, I'm happy that you're still here with us. You make me extremely proud that you're a part of our community and that you're still fighting to take another step every single day. And you're amazing, guys. 1 million W's in the chat for Jared. 1 million W's in the chat for Jared. I want to see 1 million W's in the chat for Jared. W's in the chat for Nisa. W's in the chat for Nisa, who sent a $5 donation saying, just sending this to bring your attention to your B3 rank, number 2, and your daily rank is number 78. You deserve all the success and love. Your heart shows, and you stand on business with your beliefs, and it don't have to be a dick. The community you've built loves you and supports you always. It's not the community that I built. It's the community that we built. Like literally, we've all done this together, and it's a amalgamation of amazing, wonderful people, and we don't always agree. But I think we all agree that like we want the best for each other. So thank you so much for that. Also, I have no idea what League B3 or rank 2 means. I don't understand those things. I don't know what that means. 78 on the daily. I genuinely don't know what those things mean. It's a TikTok. Yeah, it is a TikTok thing. What is that? I don't. Sure. That's dope. That's dope. All right. All right, guys. Means the League of Lifters and daily rating. Oh, okay. Got it. All right, guys, that is enough. I am overwhelmed. So we got to call it. We got to call it. But we'll be back this evening for Late Nights with Santana. Guys, if you missed it last night, Late Nights with Santana, we ended up having an amazing conversation, which was a Black AF conversation, right? We ended up talking about the disconnect across the diaspora when it comes to Black people and the premise of being FBA, Foundational Black American. There was a lot of information that we talked about, and we got to a point where we were breaking down the fact that, you know, being FBA is antithetical to who Black people are. It's rooted in white supremacy, misogyny, you know, transphobia, all of these negative things. And even more so, it's rooted in misunderstanding and a lack of compassion, right? And so we had a great conversation. And normally, so we do 4 nights of Late Nights with Santana. And normally on the 4th night, we focus on like the conclusion, and we focus on like the thing that we're going to do. And we're going to do some of that. But last night was so amazing. And there were so many people that did not get to join that conversation, and that we're going to do that again tonight. And we're going to allow that conversation to complete itself. I think it's something that's super important. So it's a Black AF conversation. And if you're not Black, you're welcome to come and listen to the conversation. But my mods are fully locked and loaded when it comes to ensuring that that conversation stays a Black conversation. But it was really good. Hey, thank you for the flowers. It was a great conversation. We're going to do it again this evening. So I'm really, really excited about it. So if you're available, please, please, please make sure that you're here this evening for Late Nights with Santana, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. It's going to be an amazing, amazing, amazing conversation again. I think it's really, I know it's such a troll. It's going to be a great thing. It's going to be a great thing. All right, guys. All right, let's get out of here. You guys have fucking fried me today. You guys have fucking fried me. Let's get out of here.
You stepped in the box. Now you're in the ring. Ain't no hugs here. You better take your best swing. Mike Hot, who wanna step in the flame? This ain't a debate, this a mind game. Facts type lies, get left in chain. One wrong word, you slapped out your name. This ain't TikTok T, this a war zone talk. No script, no filter, no safe walk. Bring stats to get scrambled like a glitch. I got fire in my mouth like I came from the pit.
Hey, W's in the chat for the chat. You guys are fucking amazing. I mean that when I say that. I love you guys. Sincerely, sincerely, sincerely. I love each and every one of you. There's no way in hell that I could do any of this without you. There's no way that I would be where I am today without you. And I appreciate you. I will never, ever, ever, ever take for granted what you have given me. You guys make this possible, and I'm just happy to share all of this with you. Thank you. Thank you for being amazing. Thank you for being here. Thank you for caring. I sincerely love you. Guys, thank you for all the gifts, the taps, the likes, the shares. Thank you all for hanging out. I will see you all this evening, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, Late Nights with Santana. We are going to have an amazing night. So please, please, please make sure you're there. I love you all. And as always, peace.